Good morning. Let us enjoy a deep breath together. This morning we engaged the force field meditation, a powerful meditation to shift the consciousness and the psyche from outside in living to inside out living, the truth of the universe. Deep breath. Center in the stillness within. Go deep within your mind. Past what you have to do today. Past what the body feels like or is experiencing. Past the past. Past all thoughts about the future. Breathing deeply, slowly, rhythmically. Still the mind. Mind like water. Like a beautiful, placid lake. Serene, pristine, calm, tranquil, zen, at peace. Go deep within your mind, breathing deeply to that place in the mind that is God. Pure bliss, pure awareness, consciousness, undifferentiated, not yet pressed into any form, simply the all. Go deep within your mind to this still space. Breathe. If any thoughts about anything come up, no thought required for the force field meditation. If thoughts arise on the screen of the mind, simply see them as balloons, big balloons that float away into the sky. Never fighting thought and meditation. Simply breathe. Be here now and let the thoughts go. There is no requirement to engage any thought at any time. We can simply be aware of a thought arising on the screen of consciousness and completely ignore it. Let it go. as now we are giving attention to the kingdom of heaven in the mind, going deep into the mind. This helps with integrating the shadow self and coming into oneness. Now, from this space of being deep within your mind clear and peaceful, breathing deeply and following the breath, calm the nervous system. Simply command it, peace. And feel a blanket of peace fall about you. We walk in peace. We speak peace. We call upon peace. We exude peace. Now we will call peace, for the purposes of this meditation, the color blue. Now conjure the color blue in your mind, deep within your mind, a calming, beautiful blue like the ocean, a peaceful blue sky reflecting the water, the ocean and the sky being reflections of each other. Forever friends and lovers who kiss at the horizon. Bring to your mind the color blue. And tell your mind, this blue is peace. Now fill the mind with this blue. And now allow this blue to expand beyond the head. A beautiful, sparkling, alive blue of spirit from the rainbow. We have 7 colors to play with, and we can mix them to have infinite numbers of colors. This time we chose blue from the rainbow, the color spectrum. See it as sparkly blue. See it an energized blue. This is no flat color. This is energy, the energy of peace. They are drawing pure energy from the quantum field known as source, and we are colorizing it, calling it peace. The color blue, full of light, sparkly, dynamic, energized, electrified even. This blue is active. It is peace. It exudes from your mind to all minds. Now see this blue come down your throat and neck, coating everything it touches with peace. Feel this blue seep down the shoulders, chest, belly, arms, abdomen, groin, hips, forearms, thighs, hands, knees, shins, ankles, feet, beyond the feet, beyond the body, several feet from the body, a giant blue emanating force field of peace. Now see that this peace is emanating from your mind, the kingdom of heaven within. See that this peace is forming a force field around your body, mind, and 7 layers of your energetic body that extend far beyond the physical body. See this force field reaching out at its edges, expanding at its edges. This force field, blue and sparkly, emanates, originates in the kingdom of heaven in your mind. Now we sit in stillness in this blue force field, emanating from self, yet far beyond the self, and not of the self, sourced in capital S self. Breathe and see this force field. Powerful emanation of peace, emanating from your mind, also known as divine mind, the kingdom of heaven within. And see this blue, dynamic, electrified, sparkly, energized, alive force field all around your body, penetrating the body, every cell, every pore, illumining all layers of the energetic body beyond the physical body. See this bright blue force field expand beyond your cell, expanding, expanding. This is a force field of peace. The peace that arises instantaneously, spontaneously from a mind that has chosen to forgive all. There was never a slight done to the real you. The real you is untouchable, immortal, invulnerable. Breathe and bathe in this blue beauty that is the force field of peace in and around you. Bathe in it. Lap it up. Infuse your every aspect, every inch in this force field of peace. See this force field of peace go ahead of you today to anything and everything you are doing. It is non-local. Peace is everywhere. Peace is in your mind. Peace is source. And source is peace. Bask in this peace. See it, feel it emanate from you effortlessly. This does not require effort. This requires only awareness. Effortless awareness. With this force field in place, emanating peace, we go about our day as lawful masters, masters of the 7 Hermetic principles from ancient Egypt, also known as Kemet, masters of magic, masters of the craft, knowing that this is a community of witches, wizards, warlocks, magical beings. And we honor this magic. We honor the witch. We honor the wizard. We honor the warlock. We honor all magical beings. We send forth our peace and love to the fairy kingdom, thankful for the fae and their keeping of nature. We send forth our love and honor, appreciation, and blessing to the mermaid kingdom, the mer people, mermen, mer people, mermaids, sirens, and all of the river, sea, and ocean beings, sprites, and undines. We send forth our love and blessings to the gnomes and all of the earth creatures. We send forth our love and blessings to the fiery dragon, the salamander, the phoenix, and all of the creatures that represent the elements. We send forth our love to all the beings that are here on the planet that may or may not be human or humanoid. We send forth our love and blessings and appreciation to the star people who have visited us on many occasions, who are here now. And we honor all beings of all planets as we enter a united federation that goes beyond our Earth planet, Starship Gaia. And we breathe. And we send our love, appreciation, and blessings to all of the beings that we named or unnamed, as we are at peace with all beings, all entities, all of the cosmos. Ashe. Breathing, we remain aware of our peaceful blue force field, created in the mind and completely aligned with divine mind. This would keep all dealings today with all people peaceful. This would keep all dealings with all entities peaceful. This would keep all dealings with all in the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom peaceful. Breathe. Force field in place. We open our eyes slowly to engage A Course in Miracles. We engage from the book, the beautiful blue book, or from anywhere in the world online in multiple languages at ACIM.org. And now, force field powerfully in place, we open our eyes slowly to engage the third dimension, always remembering the force field is up. Down first, slowly raise your gaze. Look up, look right, look down, look left, look up, look right, look down, look left, look up, look left, look down, look right, look up, look left, look down, look right. Your eyes will appreciate the exercise. God morning, you delicious soul, you incredible super being of magic, you magnificent being of love and light and beauty and power, divine wisdom. Look at you, drenching with all manner of good. Here we are fulfilling our commitment to 365 days straight. This is day 64. You did it. Only 301 to go. Wow. Look at you being disciplined. Look at you being spectacular, building an incredible life and inviting miracles into your life and day at every moment. Yesterday, we learned that our function was as light of the world. My function is to bring peace to the world, light up the world, be the salvation of the world through my forgiveness. We learned what our function is yesterday, and we continued all day to reaffirm the function given us by Source, that we no longer walk around thinking, feeling, believing that we are anything other than the salvation of the world. There's a very important message that we have today that I will make a note of to be sure that we cover this message. It's that important. Okay. Today's idea is merely another way of saying, let me not wander into temptation. Lead me not into temptation. It is the Lord's Prayer. It is the prayer, the source that Christ gave us, the Christ consciousness gave us when on the planet. Let me not lead into temptation. What does that mean? Lead me not into temptation. Let me not wander into temptation. The purpose of the world, you see, is to obscure your function of forgiveness. The purpose of the world is to obscure our function of forgiveness and provide you with a justification for forgetting it. Not only is the world here to help us obscure our function of forgiveness, it's also to give me a justification for forgetting it that I don't want to forgive. And it will make it seem that I'm justified in not forgiving because those people were scoundrels. They should have never did this to me. It is the temptation to abandon God and his son by taking on a physical appearance. We took on a physical appearance and we thought deep down inside that we abandoned God because we left the spirit realm, came into this realm with a body. And it's the temptation. When you take on a physical appearance, remember you have a body, you are not a body. You have a body, you are not a body. You have a body, you are not a body. And you know you are so much more than a body because you know that when you go to sleep, your consciousness leaves your body and it goes all over the universe. You have been swimming with dolphins and you needed no apparatus. You've been flying through the air. You needed no wings. You've been on mountaintops and you were not afraid. You've been all over this glorious universe in some other dimensions without your body. You always do things without your body. You could be in a fantasy and your body is somewhere else and your mind is in a wonderful fantasy. And so a consciousness is far beyond your body. And so when we took on a physical appearance, there is the temptation to abandon God and our holiness, to abandon source and our true nature as spirit, energetic beings, because we're so convinced that we're a body. It is this the body's eyes look upon. So when I look at someone else, am I even seeing the person? Am I seeing their body? Their stunt double. The body's eyes can only look on other bodies. You see, this is the technology for the third dimension. The technology for the third dimension is a body. It's a conduit. It's an interface, like a computer. If you're walking around, how will you get to the internet? Even though you could possibly figure out, eventually we may figure out how to just use our brains to access the internet, you need some kind of interface. A computer, a pad, a notebook, a Kindle, a phone. That's the interface to reach the internet, even though the internet is everywhere. And this is your body. Your body is the technology for navigating the third dimension. And if you do not know by day 64 that you are far beyond a body, this is a good time to truly root into the truth. Nothing the body's eyes seem to see can be anything but a form of temptation, since this was the purpose of the body itself. Wow. That means all the things that we're seeing on the world, all the murders, all the war, all the disaster, all the disease, all the natural disasters. Oh, there's people dying, food, famine. These people hate these people are against these people are rioting, these people are doing this. Nothing the body's eyes seem to see can be anything but a form of temptation, since this was the purpose of the body itself. Yet we have learned that the Holy Spirit is another use for all the illusions you have made. All the illusions that I think I see can be used for another purpose. And therefore he sees another purpose in them. All of this world, this whole third dimension, this whole simulation, this whole matrix where people appear to die, people appear to get attacked from the outside for no good reason. Seems so senseless and meaningless. Yet we remember in the earlier lessons that God did not create a meaningless world. Maybe I need to change my mind about the world. To the Holy Spirit, the world is a place where you learn to forgive yourself and what you think of as your sins. Bam. That is the purpose of the world to the Holy Spirit. The purpose of this world is nothing other than a playground for us to remember who we really are as a playground. Wow. For me to remember. And when you graduate, as did Maya Angelou, as did Martin Luther King, as did Malcolm X, as did Gandhi, as did Mother Teresa, as did Mary Queen of Scots, as did all the Joan of Arc, as did Dr. Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay, Maya Angelou, all of the beautiful beings who ascended. When you ascend this world, it's because you've already learned the lessons of this world. Nelson Mandela, our beautiful Madiba, Thich Nhat Hanh, Dr. Hugh Lynn Haleakala, who brought us Ho'oponopono, may their names forever be etched upon our hearts and souls. These brave beings who brought us new ways of thinking and seeing, and some of them Christ. Some of them actually were willing to give up their physical form for it. You are so much more than a body. So this is a place where we all come and learn to forgive yourself for what you think of as your sins. Wow. What a shocker. In this perception, the physical appearance of temptation becomes the spiritual recognition of salvation. See, we flip the world on a dime. We look at something that seems out of ordinary, amiss, not peaceful, not loving. Oh, I can remember that my function is forgiveness as the light of the world, and I will go within my own mind and I will practice love and forgiveness, and I will bring love and forgiveness to light up every corner of this world. We recognize that this physical appearance of temptation becomes the spiritual recognition of salvation. Recognition of salvation. What a paradigm shift. Shift it. Shift war from, oh, this is horrible, this is atrocious, this is terrible, this is bad things happening to people. Oh, we should pray, we should get together or something, we should stop this is horrible. Change that to, this is an opportunity for me to step up as the light of the world and forgive what is in my mind, because my mind, because we're living in a consciousness soup, my mind contributed to causing a war because I have war inside my mind. And as I do what Spirit would have me do, help, provide this, provide that. As I do it, I will do it from a consciousness of love and understanding that this can be the salvation of me and the ones involved. We can use this for our salvation. We can use this for our higher purpose. We can use it to evolve. All things are a ladder to take us up. Nothing is here to destroy you. Nothing. And if you give up your body, well, you give up your body. You've done that a lot of times before. You'll probably do it many more times again. This apparatus is temporary, as we all know. You, however, are not. To review our last few lessons, your function here is to be the light of the world. A function given you by God. That is your job. That is your function. That is your purpose. Be the light of the world. Christ said it. Let your light shine. A city, a light is not hid under a bushel basket, but it's raised high above in the house for all to see. Okay? Let your light shine. You have the light. You are the light. You are of the light. We swim in the light. You can't be out of the light. Let your light shine. It is only, this is one of my favorite lines in the whole course, because it gave me a nice little, a loving Holy Spirit slap. Wake up. Pat, 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 wake up. It is only the arrogance of the ego that leads you to question this, that you are the light of the world and that your function is to save the whole world, a function given you by God by you lighting up. It is only the arrogance of the ego that leads you to question this. Me, little old me. And only the fear of the ego that induces you to regard yourself as unworthy of the task assigned to you by God himself, by the goddess herself. I have a task assigned to me by the goddess herself. Oh, I'm going to do that job. Trust me. And I'm not going to sit around and say, oh, I'm unworthy of doing it. Oh, this is too big for me. I'm overwhelmed. Oh, well, you know what? I can do it fearful and arrogant. I can still do it fearful and arrogant. Because the arrogance of the ego, my arrogance will tell me, you can't save the world. You're just one person. How are you going to do that? Huh? Thank you, arrogance of the ego, for outing your stupid ass self and trying to lead me. This is a temptation. Get thee behind me, Satan. This is a temptation, attempting to get me to question, well, am I really here to be the light of the world, save the world? Can I really do that? One little person, I don't even think I'm heard. It's only the arrogance of the ego that would lead me to question. God said it. The arrogant, God said I'm abundant, but I question it and I would rather live in lack. I did that for years. I refuse to do that any longer. God said I'm great. And I want to swirl around in littleness, walk into a room, don't really even want to raise my hand or speak up or say the answer when you know the answer. Don't want to shine your gifts when you know you're inspired to do so. Swirling around in littleness when God said greatness and magnificence lives in you and is here to be expressed to the whole cosmos in your song that no one else can sing. Only the arrogance of the ego would lead you to question it. I don't know. Stop it. And only the fear of the ego is terrified. The ego is terrified because it is shrinking every time you remember your God, every time you remember that you are so much more than a human. The ego is shrinking a little bit more, and the fear, it's like grasping. It's like, things get desperate when they're about to die. And we're not talking about ego death as if the ego is evil. The ego is ignorant. It's ignorant and it's empty. It doesn't know anything about God. It only knows about the five senses. It's empty and it's arrogant and it's fearful, and it should be fearful because all it knows is about the five senses. It doesn't know that you are a supernatural being. It doesn't know any of that. So why would we let it run the show? It is only the fear of the ego that induces you to regard yourself as unworthy of the task assigned to you by Source itself. Source itself created you, formed you, and sent you forth as the light of the world, a representation of itself into form. And we get here and question it all. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. What's my purpose? I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know. Will people listen to me? I don't know. I'm writing this book. Will people even read my book? Is it really good? Stop it. I'm just talking to myself. The world's salvation awaits your forgiveness, because through it does the Son of God escape from all illusions and thus from all temptation. The Son of God is you. The child of God is you. The daughter of the universe is you. The son of the universe is you. The children of Source is you and I. It's all of us. The world's salvation awaits your forgiveness. We do not understand that all our little petty grievances are a problem to the salvation of the world. We think, well, these petty grievances, I don't like this person. I don't like what they did to me. And that should have never happened to me. And they should have never said that to me. We do not understand that holding on to all our petty grievances and not forgiving has a war going on the planet. No, that's us. We did that. Don't look across the pond and think they. No, I'm responsible for the state of this whole planet because I am the light of the world. I came here on a mission, a function, fulfilling a function given me by Source. And I see that I have not forgiven. Not in blame, not in guilt, in awareness. Oh, I have more to forgive. Let me get to forgiving. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry. Thank you. I will ho'oponopono myself to death. Yes, I will ho'oponopono myself out of a body. That's how it works. When you forgive, you just rise up out of a body like Elijah, like Enoch. Elijah and Enoch didn't even see death. They were translated. Enoch was translated by the word of God. Elijah was translated in a chariot, a fire. They didn't die. They just kept forgiving and kept forgiving and kept raising their vibration and becoming less and less dense, less and less dense, less and less dense. And next thing you know, we have Metatron and Sandalphon. Enoch, the mighty angel Metatron, he translated. They didn't die. He just kept raising your consciousness, raising your vibration. And the Elijah, the great Sandalphon, went up in a chariot. Yes, these are metaphors for the understanding that you can go up in your consciousness with peace, love, beauty, joy, bliss, euphoria. You can raise your vibration such that it spins faster, 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 and you become angelic. The angels are calibrated at a very high, fast vibration. That's why most people don't behold them in the third dimension, because this dimensionality is super slow. That's the third dimension. Super dense and super slow. That's the third dimension. The fourth dimension is more energized, it's swifter. The fifth dimensions and beyond, the scientists have told us now they have ascertained, they can properly ascertain 12 dimensions. Don't just swirl around on the third when you have a whole playground up there. Go up. Go up. Only by fulfilling the function given you by God will you be happy. You want to know how to be happy, family? You want to know how to never be deep in depression again like I was? Almost took myself out with a bottle of pills because my mind needed to be changed. And thankfully, Source came and got me because they saw, well, she's about to end this incarnation, but she could do more in this incarnation if she wanted to. And I almost took myself out and something stopped me. I thought about my kids because Spirit rushed to my mind. The Holy Spirit rushed to my mind the thought that they knew would keep me in this third dimension because I was done. I was out. I'm like, I'm not going to do this. And I never was honest enough with myself to tell myself that I was going to off myself. I just said, I just want to go to sleep and never wake up. I just want to go into a nice long nap and don't get up. And yet, something brought to my mind, the Holy Spirit brought to my mind my children. I was nursing my baby and I had my son who was only 3. And I said, my kids, who's going to take care of my babies? I couldn't fathom the thought of leaving my babies. Now, of course, I had to live for myself and not for my babies because my baby's grown. And I still had to contend with my own self and my own mind. Oh, yeah. Now one of my babies has babies. And so you can't live for someone else. Yet the Holy Spirit used that thought because it knew it was the thought that would bring me back from the ledge and say, okay, I can't leave this life. Then my soul stepped in and said, okay, let's have a conversation. Since you decided you're going to stay in this life, yay, because you can do anything you want. And so let's have a conversation now. It's because you're going to stay in this life. Here's the ultimatum. But there's an ultimatum. Yes. Well, what is it? This is what my soul said to me. This is literally the conversation. It gave me a choice. It said, live or be out. Live or die. It was the same thing that Moses said in the wilderness to the Israelites in the stories, the legends that strengthen us. He said, I put before you life and death, the blessing and the malediction. Choose life. Choose the blessing. Choose it. You have to choose it. Of course, Miracle says the same thing. There are no neutral thoughts. Every thought is either a heaven or a hell thought. Please tell this to your mind because we have hell thoughts during the day. And we've got to be aware enough to say, that's a hell thought because there are no neutral thoughts. Everyone is in one camp or the other. And so my soul said, if you're going to live, really live. Like what you've been doing for these 28, 29 years. We know you're in your Saturn return right now. It's very difficult, 28 to 30, right? That Saturn return, it's like, oh, sometimes for some people. It said, really live. Really live. Like live. Like I was looking like, how do I even do that? Because everything in the religion I was in told me not to live. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that. Don't do that with them. Don't go over there with them. Don't do that. Don't say this. Don't drink this. Don't eat this. Don't. It was the longest list of don'ts I ever saw in my life. How can I live? I don't even know how to live. And so, well, you're going to find out. Are you willing? Yes. Yes. It was the hero's quest. And well, I've been on it ever since. What a ride. That's all I can say is what a ride. I love it. Only this is the only way you're going to be happy. The only way you're going to be happy is if you let your light shine, sweetness, and play the violin. You see, the only way you're going to be happy is if you write those incredible books, Mr. Rosa or Mama Rosa, right? And you write that book and you create those card decks and you create all that goes along with the I am affirmations for living, right? In harmony, you're really going to be happy as you're traveling the globe and fulfilling your function of lighting up the whole world as an amazing and beautiful fairy and then you hop in the water, be a mermaid. Wow. Right, Zaire, you'll be happy hanging with a bunch of beautiful women and living your life and no demands. Love makes no demands. Only and lighten up the world. Just walk around, be a light, forget everything that ever happened. It's over now. It's over. You're safe, you're happy. That now you're going to be happy. You're only by fulfilling the function given you by God will you be happy. That's why people are not happy, because they're holding on to fifth grade. They're holding on to 27. You broke my heart. You cheated on me. You were mean to me. 33, they fired me. They sent me off the job. They stabbed me in the back. And even the person that I thought was for me, they didn't stand up for me. And they just looked at me while I was walking out the door. Good, fucking good. You're free. Good. And so what we must understand is that all you're supposed to do is very simple. It's very simple. Is light up the whole world with your light, forgive everything, and be happy. Hey, throw in some good sex and some mangoes, and I don't really see a problem with life at all. I really don't. And you'll be happy, and everybody will be happy. What's wrong with that? Choose it. You have to choose it, and then you have to be true to your choice. That is because your function is to be happy by using the means by which happiness becomes inevitable. You see, there is a way that your happiness would be inevitable. That's why I'm always laughing. Last night I was walking around in Vegas, and I am seeing Vegas all lit up, literally all lit up with lights. And I'm seeing Vegas all lit up with the divine light. Because when you start to look with the divine light, you'll see the divine light lights up everything. And I kid you not, I am so in awe of the universe at all times. I get ready to go. I don't know what I want to eat. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about restaurants. I don't know what is that would fit me perfectly. I don't know. And so I'm open. So I call the Uber and I say, hey, take me to, I don't know, Bellagio. And I was like, maybe not. That's Caesar's Palace. I kid you not. I just picked it. Caesar's Palace. Okay. And the Uber driver, she's so beautiful. She's talking to me about all the wonderful restaurants because I love dining and I love delicious food and real food and chefs and artistry with food. I'm such a foodie. And it's very interesting that my videos on food get googobs of views. Like, obviously, you all love food more than spirituality. That's what it would appear to be. Anyway, so I go into we had this delicious, wonderful conversation. And she was telling me all about the Korean barbecue, of course, where you cook all your food. The first time my Korean girlfriend took me to a Korean barbecue, I was amazed. She said, hey, come on, I'm going to a Korean restaurant. I was like, never done that before. Say yes. So I go to a Korean restaurant and they're just cooking the food in front of you and it smells so wonderful. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. And she says, yeah, they have the Korean, it's the Asian part of town. It's right down here. And they have all these Asian restaurants. And then she said, and then they have the vegan restaurants and the vegetarian restaurant. But it's lovely, lovely. Okay, so I'm riding. And she drops me off at Caesar's Palace. And I get out of Caesar's Palace feeling happy. Because why wouldn't I? I'm in the middle of one of the greatest cities on the planet. Now, whether you like Vegas or not, whether you're into the things that are in Vegas or not, you cannot say it's boring. There's not one thing boring about Vegas, right? And so I'm walking around. I get out at the Uber and I I walk into Caesar's Palace. I'm like, okay, let me walk in. I walk in, kid you not. She says, oh, yeah, that restaurant's good. I'm just hoping. I'm just wandering around being the light of the world, not knowing anything about where I'm going and not needing to know. And I look there and there's this Joe's Steakhouse thingy. Oh, that looks good. But it was not the vibe like, like go there. And so I'm just walking and then I come around the corner. It's like, oh, it's called True Food. Well, I'm in the Truth Clan. I'm like, ding, 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 ding. And it's green and it's beautiful. And I'm like, I need that food there. Didn't even look at the menu. You know, some people walk up and they look at the menu. It's on the outside. And they're saying, do I like it? Do you like it, honey? Yeah, we like it. I didn't even need that. I was like, oh, the place was glowing. It's beautiful. I walked in. I sat down. Oh, my goodness. They had some kind of flatbread with the arugula and the apple slices and the hummus and the little honey drizzled over. I'm like, wow, people, what is, and they gave me some tea that was like this delicious configuration of roots and leaves and shoots and ginger and honey and OMG. And then I had the wonderful salmon with the I'm back there again. I'm back there again. And the veggies and this pesto and this, oh, it was flavor upon flavor upon flavor. Like this chef is like, okay, chef, you're talking to me. You're talking, and the whole presentation, the whole place is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. See, that is what will happen all the time as your life when you understand that your function is to be happy by using the means by which happiness becomes inevitable. Your happiness is inevitable. If you're not happy now, don't worry, you will be. Forgive, let it go, change your mind, forgive, let it go, shine bright, be the light of the world. You're going to receive your instructions. There is no other way. There is no other way. I've looked for many other ways. I mean, I looked for being happy in bed sheets. It wasn't there. I was looking for it. I was in the bed with this dude or that dude. Maybe this one will be it. It wasn't there. I was looking for people in my family have looked for happiness in weed or in alcohol. They looked for it in a bottle. It wasn't there. I looked for happiness in maybe if I do enough yoga, I'll be happy. It wasn't there. Yeah, it made me feel better if I did not go inside my mind to change my mind, to connect with source in my mind, to clear all that is the gunk and junk in my mind, then you can't be happy. You just can't be happy. Therefore, every time you choose whether or not to fulfill your function of being the light of the world and forgiving everything and saving the whole world, you're really choosing whether or not to be happy. If you don't shine your light, you won't be happy. You don't play that violin, you won't be happy. If I don't write and speak and do what I'm doing right now, I won't be happy. If you don't fulfill your function, you won't be happy. You won't. You won't be happy and fulfilled. Let your light shine. Who that is sane would choose whether or not to be happy? No, I don't think I want to be happy today. I don't think I want to be in all this bliss and euphoria that's going to come to me. Who needs it all? Let's mix in some sadness and some desperation and some hopelessness and some death and torment. And let's make my personal hell and horrors a shared vision by me talking about all the horrible things that could happen or are happening. Who says that? No one. No one sane would say that. Do you want desperation mixed in with your happiness? I don't. Do you want doubt mixed in with your faith? No. Just straight bartender, happiness, straight up, neat, not even on the rocks. Just give it to me, Holy Spirit, happiness. You can have it. Just have it and be happy. It's really very simple. Let us remember this today. Please let us remember that I'm not going to fall into temptation. Let us remind ourselves of it in the morning and again at night and all through the day as well. So let's go back to the top. Let's remind ourselves, let me not forget my function. Let me not forget my function as the light of the world. Let me not hide my gifts under a bushel basket. Let me not think I'm small. Let me not think I'm not heard. Let me not think I'm misunderstood. Let me not think people did something to me. Let me not think that I can even be done something to. Let me accept my invulnerability. Let me accept my perfection. Let me accept my divinity. Let me accept my wholeness, my abundance, my perfection, my beauty, my awesomeness. Let me accept it and not be arrogant. Prepare yourself in advance for all the decisions you will make today by remembering they are all really very simple. All your decisions, each one will lead to happiness or unhappiness. That's the barometer. Happiness or unhappiness. That's their choices. Can such a simple decision really be difficult to make? Let not the form of the decision deceive you. Complexity of form does not imply complexity of content. Remember, fear expresses in 50 million different ways. It's still fair. Don't get caught up in, well, this is fear in the relationships, so I got to have a relationship coach. And this is fear in the body temple, so I got to have an energy body coach. Well, this is fear and to live my best life and design my life by design and divine intention. So let me get a life purpose coach. It's fucking fear. Stop it. You're doing too much. It's fear. Simple. Complexity is another word for the ego. It is impossible that any decision on earth can have a content different from just this one simple choice. Either I'm going to be happy or I'm not going to be happy. That is the only choice the Holy Spirit sees. Therefore, it is the only choice there is. That's the only choice the Holy Spirit sees. Do you want to be happy or do you not want to be happy? Because your function is to be happy, lighting up the world, being the salvation of the world, and bringing peace to all minds through my forgiveness. That's my function. That's your function. But no, I would rather hold on to a grievance and sue people. I would rather be unhappy. I would rather divorce people and be mean and mad and be in courtrooms than being happy. Like, why was I in courtrooms when I could have been happy? Because the ego has to be right. It's got to make you pay. Is it making me happy? No, then fuck this. Okay, this lawsuit is over. What do y'all want? We're settling. We're doing whatever. What do y'all want? Because Spirit will give me the answer to exactly how to end this. It's going to end through my forgiveness. And I don't even know how my forgiveness is going to end this thing. I know I'm going to ho'opono myself right out of this into happiness. Don't you want to be happy? Today, then, let us practice with these thoughts. Let me not forget my function. You see, we're very forgetful humans. We're very forgetful. Let me not. In magic, they say the most important thing first is remember. Remember, remember is so important. Remember who you are. That's the first thing, know that self. Remember who you are. Let me not forget my function. Let me not try to substitute mine for God's. I think I'm here to put the world aright. They shouldn't do this, so I have to make it right. Well, is that my function? Or let me forgive and be happy. Let me forgive and be happy. See, the ego is trying to hijack your happiness and hold it hostage and tell you that you're going to be happy when you right this wrong, that you're going to be happy when you build this business and it's going to be hard to do and take a long time. You're going to be happy when you have this amount of money in the bank. You're going to be happy when you get this boo, this lover, this person who's supposed to love you for the rest of your life, even though you don't love you for the rest of your life. You're going to be happy when you have this particular body and you're looking banging. You're going to be happy. Do you see? Do you see? Oh, you're going to be happy after you save the world by correcting the wrongs that were done to Black people or to women or to gay people or to straight people or to Asian people. I got to right this wrong without changing my mind. You're going to be happy after blank. That's ego hijacking happiness and making you think that the thing you're going to do is going to give you happiness when it's not. When right now I can forgive and be happy right now without doing a damn thing. Now, of course, you will jump up and you will do many things. You'll write books, you'll create sonatas, you'll create art, you'll create businesses, you'll create incredible, maybe homeless shelters for wonderful people. You won't do it from a consciousness of unhappiness and righting a wrong, making something correct because it's bad. How are you going to get peace and good from something that's bad? It's not going to happen. It's not an energetic match. At least once, devote 10 or 15 minutes today to reflecting on this with eyes closed. We will do that together now. Related thoughts will come to help you. If you remember the crucial importance of your function to you and to the world, remember your crucial importance of your function. You see, there are no dispensable people. Everyone is valuable. All hands on deck. Everyone is necessary. The universe could not exist without you in it. In the frequent applications, pardon me, of today's idea throughout the day, devote several minutes to reviewing these thoughts and then thinking about them and about nothing else. Thinking about the thoughts that this is how I'm going to be happy. Wow, I've believed so many other things were going to give me happiness. Let me not forget my function. Let me not forget I came here for a purpose. And maybe instead of watching 3-4 hours of Netflix tonight, because the next episode, countdown, they've got all these hacks to keep your eyes riveted. You can't even stop watching, even if you want to, because they built in the behavioral sciences to keep you addicted and keep you get the dopamine hits that you need. You need the dopamine hits. So you keep going back for more addictions. Rather than doing that, maybe I'll turn off Netflix, maybe 1 or 2 shows, and I'll turn it off, and I will meditate on my function. This will be difficult to think about your function and nothing else. At first, particularly, since you are not proficient in the mind discipline that it requires, we do not yet have the mind discipline, what the course is telling us at day 64 of our 365-day mind training curriculum, because we know our mantra for the year, an untrained mind can accomplish nothing. You may need to repeat, let me not forget my function, quite often to help you concentrate. So if you find the mind going here, going there, let me not forget my function. You have a safety net. You have if you fall off the, cruise ship and you're in the water, oh, here go all my thoughts. I'm crazy again. Let me not forget my function. And bring yourself to center. 2 forms of shorter practice periods are required. At times, do the exercises with your eyes closed, trying to concentrate on the thoughts you are using. At other times, keep your eyes open after reviewing the thoughts and then look slowly and unselectively around you, telling yourself, this is the world. It is my function to save. Not, oh, the sky is falling. Oh, this is horrible. Running around and adding to the chaos. Oh my God, this is terrible. Something bad is happening. Something bad is happening. Oh, stop, Chicken Little. Look around you. This is the world. It is my function to save. This is the world. It is my function to save. Let me get to forgiving. Let me get to shining the light. Let me get to being happy. to infuse the entire thoughtmosphere, the consciousness of planet Earth. As we did our force field meditation this morning, we will bring the force field of peace. That's your function. You see a fucked up world? Well, you're here to save it. Save it. Let's do our first exercise together, as we love to do. For 10 minutes, we will set our chimes to meditate on. Let me not forget my function. We can begin. Our chimes have rung to signal to us that we have completed our first exercise for the day. For A Course in Miracles, Lesson 64, let me not forget my function. Deep breath. Now, the message that I promised not to forget that we are receiving today is regarding your ego and your shadow. Your ego, to be very clear on the distinction between the two according to Carl Jung, the ego is who you think you are. The shadow is who you think you're not. Let's go deeper. And this is why A Course in Miracles invites us deep, deep, deep into the mind, even beyond the shadow, for integration of the shadow. So, what do we mean? The ego is who you think you are, and the shadow is who you think you're not. The ego is the instigator of a carefully contrived personality self, lower S self. Let's call it your stunt double, your personality, and it believes that it is your true identity. It believes your human self is your identity. That's what it believes. That's what the ego believes. The ego doesn't know, like we said, it's not evil, it's just ignorant. And it's empty. It doesn't know anything about your divine, true divine self. It only knows about the five senses and what you receive on the third dimension. It doesn't know anything about supernatural abilities, magic, anything beyond what it can see, touch, taste, feel, hear on the third dimension. It is trapped in the third dimension, and therefore, by its very nature, it is limited. Now, the issue with the ego is the identity crisis that we think we are the personality. We think I'm Valerie Love. I'll give you an example of the personality. Valerie Love, and I like eating, I like plant medicine, and I like wearing these kinds of clothes, and I have three kids, and I have three grandkids, and I have, I travel the world. I live in Mexico. I have this beautiful home in Mexico, have a YouTube channel. Some people call me a YouTuber. I'm not. You see, that's all. I'm an author. I wrote books. That's all descriptors of a third dimension personality. I used to be a financial advisor. I'm from Harlem. I was born in the hood. I'm a Black woman. Like I always say, I'm not a Black woman. I just look like one. And all of that is, oh, I like red. I like pink. I like going here. I like going there. I was married to this man. I was married to that man. I have this friend or this boo or whomever. All of that personality self. Some people, I'm a doctor, that's identity. Identity. I'm a doctor. I'm smart. I know things. I have a God complex. And then you have, yeah, just do what I say because I'm a doctor. And then, some people are, I'm an attorney and I argue for the law and I stand up for the underdog and I do this and I do that. It's all personality. Now, nothing wrong with the personality, nothing wrong with the ego, nothing wrong with any of it. The issue becomes when we identify with, like if I identify with this Black woman that's sitting in front of you, this is not who I am. This is what I appear to be on the third dimension. Don't get it twisted. This is not who I am. And you can't see who I am. I can't see who you are unless I close my eyes and look in the third eye. So we must become very clear on the personality. It's an ego, it's contrived. Your personality is made up of a whole bunch of experiences that you had on planet, and it's not the real you. Yet we think it's the real us because the ego tries to keep making us think that we got to make your personality better, personal development, all that. I'm not saying personal development is not good. Personal development is wonderful. It's necessary. It led me to the truth. It was a ladder. So that is the ego. That's who you think you are. You're not that. That's who you think you are. I think I'm Valerie Love. No, I'm not. I am the divine emanation of Source. I am that I am, as you are. Now, the shadow is who you think you're not. Evil, mean, hateful, a despot, a liar, a cheater, a murderer, all that's in the shadow. All of it, all of it. A drug addict, a hooker, a pimp. You know, the pimp and the hoe always go together. You can't have a hooker without a pimp, and you can't have a pimp without some hookers. And that's in my consciousness. So in my consciousness, there's a pimp and there's a hoe, and the pimp is beating up the hoe, and the hoe is hoeing around, and not even being paid well for it, giving half the money to the pimp or more, or maybe all the money to the pimp. And the pimp says, you can't have no money. I'll just take, keep you with clothes and enough to keep doing this job. Yeah, all that's in my consciousness. War, soldiers going to battle, all that. That's all in the shadow. Shadow is who we think we're not. Oh, I'm not that. I'm not evil. How dare you? No, I'm a good person. No, you're not. Because there's a part of you that has a murderer in there. There's a part of you that has a liar in there, a cheater in there. There's a part of you that has, a cutthroat in there. There's a part of you that has a backstabber in there. There's a part of you that has a betrayer in there. There's a part of you that has a Judas in there. All 12 of the apostles, we're all 12 of them. We're the sons of thunder, James and John, that always were fighting. And for them, everything was, Jesus, you want us to handle this? Because I think they were from the projects or from the hood or something. I mean, not everybody from the projects. I'm from the hood. Don't get mad with this. Everybody from the projects ain't fighting. I'm just saying they was kind of a little project-ish, a little hoodish. The answer to everything is not a fight, James and John. Then you got Matthew being a tax collector, hated by people. Ugh! His own people. You're a turncoat. You're an Uncle Tom. Because you're pressing us for money for the Romans who got their foot on our necks. You're horrible, Matthew. Okay, so I got a tax collector and they're like, I got to just fucking pay my bills. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Give me the money, right? Tax collectors just like so hated. I got a Judas in me. And pay me money, I'll tell you, everything you need to know. And there's another face of Judas that was like, yeah, I want y'all to go get him because he's about to bring a revolution. You try to go get him. He gonna burn this whole thing down. Judas was looking for a revolution. Yeah, all that's inside. All of that is in the shadow. So the shadow is who you think you are not. So how does this work? Everything that is in the shadow that you have not faced, acknowledged, addressed, or are addressing, like I said, acknowledged that, yep, that's me, or owned, this is my shit. You will have to cast it outside of you and paste it on other people, which we will call a projection. Now, I had studied a lot of Jungian psychology before I really went deep into the shadow and found the murderer and the pimp and the hoe and the unworthiness. This biatch was sitting up there stealing all my money. She like, what, bitch? That money belonged to me. And you shut up and go sit down and make some more money because I'm going to steal it. That was the unworthiness, but she was just killing me. She was killing me. I'm like, unworthiness? What are you doing? I'm taking all your shit. Don't you see me? Damn. You see, I couldn't keep fighting with people on the outside for not treating me like you're supposed to be treating me. When unworthiness was sitting there laughing. Bitch, you can get rid of him. I'm about to bring another one over here. Gonna treat you even worse because you still didn't get the message. Oh my God, I was being beat up by my own shadow. What you do not accept about yourself, you must cast outside of you onto other people. It's called a projection. Now, here's what I want to know. I want to know if anyone is in the room on Clubhouse, as we're on 4 platforms every morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Make a commitment to be here for yourself and your ascension, your activation, your quantum activation in this 222 year. This year is not any other year. We're on 4 platforms every morning. Valerie Love YouTube channel, please engage. Please engage. The Christian Witches YouTube channel, please engage. The Reverend Valerie Love Facebook fan page, we're on Facebook too, please engage. Pardon me. And on Clubhouse and the Christian Witches Club, please engage. We're not here for millions of followers like we say every morning. We're here to create masters. We're here for billions of engagers. Engage, comment, like, share, connect with a follow. Now, following isn't you're following someone. You're following higher self. You're connecting with other souls. Connect, engage, share, tap the little buttons. You know how they ask you to do the hokey pokey on these different platforms. Tap the buttons and do the things that help the message spread. I want to hear who is going to come on stage and who is going to tell us. This is the question on the table for you today, for us today. Who is willing to come on stage? Here's the question. And tell us of a known projection, something that you did not accept in your own self. Therefore, you cast it out on other people, and what you are now willing to do about it. This is shadow work. I'll go first. I acknowledge that in my shadow was an abuser. Abusing me. I'm the abuser. Okay. All right. Assume the position. Just put your hands on the wall. I'm the abuser. And I thought I was calling abusive relationships to me. I'm the abuser. Oh, wow. I have an abuser in my consciousness. Oh, it's abusing me. Yes, Derica. Derica, you're going to be with us in Dubai. Oh, my God, Derica. Yeah, I'm the abuser. And I was casting it outside of myself. I'm in an abusive relationship. It's an emotionally abusive relationship. Who's abusing who here? Oh, damn. I got an abuser in my consciousness. This abuser is abusing me with my thoughts. Thoughts of not good enough. Thoughts of I'm being emotionally terrorized by something inside my own mind. Damn, it's in my shadow. I didn't want to accept it. Okay. Well, I'm going to stop saying that I was in an abusive relationship because clearly I was the abuser. That's how it works. And then you come to a complete, what Jung called integration. What does integration mean? Here's what you look like when you don't do shadow work. I'm going to draw it because we have to be clear on this. Where's the notebook? I'm going to be very clear on this. Let's draw it out because we must get this. We must. Bring out your journal. And this is what you look like. This is what you look like. This is you. Who you think you are? Hey, I'm a happy person. I'm kind to people. I love everybody. I treat people nice. That's who you think you are. It's not true. It's contrived. Both of these are not true, not the true you. And behind you is what? This right over here, the shadow. No, you're not. You're mean. You're abusive. You lie. You cheat. You try to take the easy way out. You're impatient. You don't give a damn about nobody but yourself. Now, that both of those are true. Yes, you're a kind, loving, wonderful person. Yes. And you don't care about nobody but yourself. Yes, that's true too. You see, unless you are willing to accept this right here, you're not whole, because there's a whole you that's cast off. It's behind you. The shadow isn't behind us. And we're facing the light and we're meditating. But no, I don't want to go into that deep, dark shadow. I want to believe that I'm a light worker. I'm an energy healer. I help people. I am so kind. I'm so loving. And all I want is for peace for the whole world. And all I want, love and light. You know, the love and light people? Love and light. Namaste. Ashe. Oh, yeah. Love and light. Peace be unto you. Grand rising. And inside, you got a cutthroat. Woo-hoo! But don't want to accept it. Okay, let me make it even more plain. Cutthroat, murderer. Oh, I met my inner murderer. She's so fierce. She scared me. A hater, a warmonger, a fascist. Just want to control everyone and everything. A an unworthiness bitches in there. Is this getting too real and too graphic for you? A liar, a cheater. That's all. Pardon me. Ooh, 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 ooh. Pardon me. You see that's here, but I don't want to look at it. I just want to be love and light, love and light, love and light. No, I don't want to look at none of this. But this is calling to me my relationship situations. This is calling to me my money. This is calling to me that next crazy boo. This is calling to me the health diagnosis I just got at the doctor. This is calling to me all manner of craziness, but I keep calling it other people because I'm lovely, I'm nice, I'm wonderful, I'm peaceful, I'm beautiful. Love and light. This is the ego. This is the shadow. I hope this is very, very clear for us because we want to have things to be very clear. Is this clear? Is there anything ambiguous about this? This is the ego, who you think you are. You're so wonderful. You're so nice. You didn't deserve none of that. It was them. It was all them. Because you have not accepted this about yourself, you cast this onto other people. And you remain this false identity self that is so, oh, just bad things happen to me, but I don't deserve it. I don't deserve to be treated like that. You're not going to treat me like that. Oh, please stop. That is your fucking shadow coming in front of you, showing you. Well, we don't want to accept it. It's all you, boo. This is the mechanism. Carl Jung showed us the mechanism. This is the mechanism by which you make everything else, everybody else, but you keep yourself beautiful and pristine and just lovely. That's the mechanism by which it happens. Any questions? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. The floor is open. Existential kink. Come on now, princess. Talk to us, Harmony. Talk to us. Sobering, isn't it? Sobering.
I have some shadow work to do. That's all I can say.
You know what they say? It's so sobering, right? If you can't say amen, say ouch.
That was an hour and a half. Ouch.
Yeah. Like, why is the Holy Spirit doing all this to us so early in the morning? Look, for me, I woke up at 3 a.m. for this ass whipping. It started at 4 a.m. I got a 4 a.m. ass whipping this morning. Was there more? Harmony? I think someone has a hot mic on stage. When you come on stage, please be mindful of your mic. Thank you so much. Who's next?
Hi.
Good morning.
So this made me really, when we talked about the lesson where it's like let me not forget my function.
Mm-hmm.
I do think about my purpose in this world and what I can do to serve. You've been talking about serve a lot recently, and I'm thinking of listening to God of what to do and listen to Spirit. When I did the 40 Money Spells first lesson, I was listening and meditating. I'm still in the process of meditating and listening to my Divine Destiny Blueprint. And the first thing that came out was, don't worry about it. My voice will sustain me. And that gave me a lot of relief that whatever I do music-wise, I'll be fine. And that I don't have to worry about being a starving artist as much.
So in the shadow was, continue.
Go ahead. It's okay, go ahead.
So in the shadow was a starving artist, like that picture of, like, what if I sing, or what if I go out there and do it, and there's a starving artist living in there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I've heard of some celebrities had to sleep in their car and everything. I wasn't ready for that. I was not ready. I didn't. It was my ego didn't want people to think I was a failure. However, you have to look a little crazy for you to be successful in the end, is what I've noticed by example. And there was another point I wanted to bring up about the shadow work. When you mentioned that the shadow, so basically the shadow and the ego kind of despise each other, because when I write in my shadow book, if I'm not in a good mood, I think of every negative thing I could think of myself in my prompts. And when Existential Kink had mentioned the hidden desires of wanting the things that you don't like, it put a thing in perspective. Like the positive things that come out of negative treatment is that you can go to complain to somebody and get affection or positive reaction out of somebody if you get a negative outcome from something. And I used to do that a lot until one time somebody had said, you always try to be the victim. And I'm like, well, what if I'm being victimized? I can't be a victim. And then I thought about what I said. It's like, why do I enjoy being a victim? Do I enjoy people mistreating me?
Yes. And what did you find was the answer to that?
That I was so focused on gaining people's respect that it backfired.
And so I like being a victim. I like people to abuse me. I like it. That's what Existential Kink would have you write out and acknowledge. Yes. I somehow want this thing that I have that's not really good. I want it. In some kinky, twisted part of my brain, I want it.
Yeah, and I think I did like the pity, some of the pity, self-pity that I get out of being mistreated. And I'm working on how, it's not that you have to banish your shadow, you have to integrate it. And that I'm still in the process of. I'm still reviewing my notes in lesson 1. And then I'm going to jump into lesson 2. And I don't know if you know this already. I've already joined the Discord for Ascension.
Yay! Woohoo!
Yeah, and I have a habit of always wanting to be involved in something. So I need to minimize and prioritize now. So I know I'm going to do Ascension. I really like the orientation. So I'm ready to learn my Divine Destiny Blueprint. I'm ready to learn what I need to do as a spiritual person, what I need to do for this world, which ultimately is for myself. And I'm not a whiner, Rev. I promise
you. It says it on the Ascension website. Look what it says on the Ascension website, because it's very important that we understand that in Ascension and in this community, If you're a magician, you say that you're a witch, a wizard, a warlock, a magical being. You're a magical being, and you can't figure out certain simple things. You're gonna have a problem. You're never gonna be wealthy. You're never gonna be free. Here is what ascension, who ascension is not for. Let's go to it. It's on the website. This is not for whiners, complainers, blamers, babies who can't figure out shit, who are not personally responsible. They want somebody else to be responsible for them. I hope I'm stepping on your toes. Curiosity seekers, no. Those who don't take action, those who aren't ready to fulfill their destiny, those who are looking to get rich quick without doing the work, those who aren't ready for radical transformation, manifestation. This is a pristine global community of soul ascenders who do no drama, zero drama. Don't bring your drama and your whining and your complaining and your blaming. I'm ridding myself of all this because you're looking at my shadow right here. And my shadow is a whiner. Hey, why I gotta do it like that? God, I don't feel like it. Whiner. So we're not here to kill the shadow. That's not the objective. Nor is the objective to kill the ego. You have an ego and you have a shadow for a reason. That's not the objective. Here's the objective. The objective is to acknowledge and own it, and what we call integrate. This is integration, or Carl Jung calls it, in spirituality, we call it integration. Carl Jung called it calls it, thank you, Carl Jung, you're still here, individuation. He's like, what? Like I ain't here? You are here. Thank you for helping me. You are here, Carl Jung. And see, in spirituality, we call it integration. Carl Jung called it individuation. That means that no longer are you having parts of yourself cast out on other people because we're just unconscious and we're just walking around the planet blaming shit on other people and casting everything that we don't want to acknowledge about ourselves, casting on other people while keeping yourself pristine. How is that part? Just slinging shit this way and that, and remaining completely clean. How is that possible? How is that lawful? How is that making you powerful? I had to stop it. I had to be like, ugh, get in there with your shadow. Get in there. Ooh, you'll be horrified at first and then you'll be happy. And then you won't hold things against people. You won't judge people because you'll be like, well, damn, that's me too. I got a lazy fucker inside of me. I got a don't feel like it. I got a pimp. I got a hoe. I got a liar. I got betrayal. I got all of that in me. I got a serial killer in me. I'm telling you, when I went deep into my shadow, I tell y'all, I saw that bitch that would slice somebody's throat and put her high heel black boot on their chest, watch them bleed out and eat a chicken wing. I met that bitch. I was like, dang. I was scared. Every time I go in my shadow, I'll be scared to read them demons. I'll be like, oh my God, who are you? I do it anyway. And then you integrate it. Say, oh, okay. And then, like we always say here, give them a job. Okay, a murderous bitch. Can you come up? Yeah, a murderous bitch. What's your problem? She is like a hitman. She's like a hired assassin. Can you assassinate all the lies in my consciousness? No problem. She got all the bullets, the guns that she's packing. Can you assassinate all individuation? Work it together. Bring it together. Can you murder all the lies in my consciousness? Yep. Find a lie. She's like a sniper on the top of the building. She's like, pshoo. Can you find the lack in my consciousness and kill it? I mean, why get rid of these? These are useful entities. I might look like a nut. I'll tell you one thing. I'm not beholden to any of them. You see, until you face them all, oh, it's so painful. Oh, so painful. Not because it's inherently painful, because I chose the painful way to find out about my shadow, which is other people bring it to you. That's a very painful way to find out, rather than let me meditate and go within and find out for myself and do the work in existential kink the best shadow workbook in existence. By my sister, the incredible witch, Carolyn Elliott, PhD. This is the best. And when I tell you I have read 50 million books, 50 million books. I did the work in this book. Oh my God. The thing was so deep and so unbelievable. Existential kink. Unmask your shadow and embrace your power. You see, what she teaches in there, and the same thing called Young taught, and she's a PhD. The same thing called Young taught is this. I've got to do a review for her. I have not reviewed this book. I'm going to do a glowing review for this book. If you have any of my books, please do a review. I love doing reviews for people to understand what's going on. Reviews are so important for books, very important. Please do a review. Please engage. Please speak. Please comment, engage, share, be in it. When what she teaches in here and what we know to be true is that a vast reservoir and repository of power is in the shadow. A vast power. It's trapped because we won't acknowledge it. Creative power that you could use to focus on creating your life if you came into oneness with all, oneness with the murderer. Then you won't be judging people. You won't be judging a murderer or even a rapist. Is there a rapist inside of me? Of course. Of course. I mean, we don't want to acknowledge these things. It's not fun. Yet your greatest fears are showing you they live. That used to be my greatest fear. I used to walk around New York City when I was a young child, not a young child, more like a young woman. Because children, we didn't know anything about that. What does it mean? But once you start to understand what rape is, oh my God, you're looking at everybody suspicious. I'm in a train at night and I'm walking fast. I hear some steps behind me and I speed up. It was like my greatest fear. Why? Because I didn't want to go inside my shadow and look at my fears. I was carrying around a rapist in my consciousness. You might get raped once in your body, and you have 10,000 rapes in your mind. That's how it works, family. We're torturing ourselves. And it's all happening in the mind. And because the mind creates, then it happens outside of ourselves. I'm not saying anyone here that you're the blame for the rape. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that some people have never had any of these bodily experiences, and they're still living them energetically every day. Because it's in your mind. You look at somebody, you're a liar. That's in my mind. You're addicted to drugs. That's in my mind. I'm fucking addicted. Now, what am I addicted to? It's the deep inquiry. Woo, get in there. Inside yourself. You really don't have time to look at anybody else. I promise you that. You really don't have time. Woo, we're going crazy in the chats on YouTube. Money in the Vortex. I heal love TV. Money in the Vortex, money in the Vortex, money in the Vortex. Woo, woo. We got some more money in the Vortex too. This message is profound for all of us. Ooh, I heal love. Ali Love TV. Oh my God. 2 super chats. Come on now. Come on, money in the Vortex, because we're getting our life this morning, family. We're getting our life. This one message will free you. Get your whole life. It'll free you. Because when we do not acknowledge this, we are in bondage inside our own mind. This is all happening inside the mind. Who's next?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning,
Hello,
princess.
family.
Good morning, princess. How you loving?
How you love it? Oh wow! First of all, actually, I want to acknowledge the Lake Princess. Lake Princess, it's the first time we're on the clubhouse at the same time. You know what? I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Even you're not here, I came to tell everybody about you. And you know what, family? Oh my God, this young
young lady is growing and just so fast to take action, you know, ever since we connected, right? And all the conversation we had in a second date, she would just take action. Oh my God. I am so, a lot of things I was holding back. I said, I'd like her to share with the whole family. I was just so surprised and said, "Oh my God!" At midnight, taking break, then I saw on the group, and then like a friend said, "Oh my God, she joined the session. She take every single step." My head is it was blow my mind. At the same time, I would just tell Lake Princess, watching her grow, I can see my little girl in me, and it start growing so fast.
Yeah.
And also I decided to use my own name. My name is Lei. So I will be Princess Lei. We're exactly mirror each other.
I love it.
I'm so proud of you. Second thing I want to share, I have an aha moment yesterday. Oh my goodness. Just the class that we were talking about today right now. I was preparing on the trip, right, back to DC. So I pick up some stuff at a Walmart, and after I settle down and I find perfect spot and organize my car, I say, you know what, let me review some classes, do some homework before I get on the road. So I would just take everything out and organize. The next thing you know, I plan to review, you know, enjoy the view, big open lawn, and the beautiful sunshine, and but that big old truck parked right in front of me. The entire parking lot here is so many empty spots, and why he parked here? It suddenly bothered me so much. I've been on the cloud ever since the 222. I haven't feel anything really bother me. I start chatting. Oh my God, what the heck in the world? Where are you from? Why are you parking from me? Oh, I said, whew. I take a deep breath. Okay, all right, you know, let's not blaming the truck. Whew. I said, what happened right here? And make me realize, you know, I experience this a lot. I can manifest the perfect spot, parking spot. But every single time I park, I find a spot, somebody put right in front of me and block me. I make me realize that happened really a lot. I said, what happened right here? I said, take a deep breath. Let's go in, find out what's exactly this. I'm just still looking at the truck. So I close my eye. I hear, you are hiding. Oh my God. I've been hiding. Wow. I opened my eyes. I said, yes, that's exactly. I've been hiding. The family hear what I'm saying, right? My littleness. I've been hiding. I don't want to see. I don't want to be seen. Oh my goodness. I said, take a deep breath. I said, right now, universe, I'm really ready. I'm the light of the world. And I can't hiding no more. Yes, that's exactly this part of shadow. And I haven't been knowledge of this part. I say, then I look at this truck. I do hono. I've forgiven myself, my thoughts, and create this situation. I say, I've forgiven myself. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And I didn't expecting any results at that moment, but guess what? Because I don't know who parked here. I don't know where he's from. Where is this truck from? I didn't even see it. Almost like a quantum jump. So I didn't expecting any results. Guess what, Reverend Love? What? You can't. I know you will believe it. 10 seconds. I was only second repeat. I apologize. Please forgive me. Then this truck start moving. Oh my goodness! Instantly. Instantly. Yes. Instantly. I wasn't expecting. I can't see anybody in the truck. He is moving. Oh my God! It's how powerful. And knowledge. What's the thought? What's the cause? And acknowledge that. And forgive. And
Just like that.
So powerful. Whole family, everybody, y'all, everybody, we're so powerful. All we need to do is recognize, acknowledge that, forgive, and connect with the love. I complete.
Delicious.
Thank you.
Delicious. Delicious. So you find hiding in the shadow. Hiding.
I did.
Yep. Hiding. That's why we're always being blocked, because we're hiding. Here's another aspect of the shadow that we must give attention to, as the angels have reminded me of this, revealing this. Guess what else is in the shadow? Your greatness and your magnificence. And guess what? If it's unacknowledged, unaccepted, that you are the light of the world, you will also project your greatness and your magnificence on people that you think are great. Oh, Oprah's so amazing. Oh, this person is, you're looking at people on Instagram and you're drooling over their lives. That is what we call a positive projection. You can have a negative projection, or you can have a positive projection. A negative projection is where you project, it's behind you. I don't want to see any of the darkness in myself. So I project it onto other people. It's called a negative projection. All of my negative qualities I refuse to acknowledge. I just smear them on other people. There's also a positive projection. All of my greatness and magnificence and light shining and amazing gifts that I refuse to accept and integrate and own and actually express on the planet. That's all behind me. So, oh my God, look how amazing their life is. Look how amazing things they're doing. Look at that amazing, successful business they have. We would call that a positive projection, because now you're projecting your own greatness and magnificence on other people rather than projecting your own shit on people. It's all a problem. Own it all and come into oneness. Light and shadow, that's yin and yang. Yin and yang is one, the darkness and the light. Then you are now accessing all of your power, the power of the darkness and the power of the light. You are Luke Skywalker and you are Darth Vader. I am Harry Potter and I am Lord Voldemort. I am Dorothy and I'm also the wizard. I am Mr. Frodo and I'm also Sauron. Bring it together, family. In one. And then remember, darkness doesn't mean evil. Shadow is just dark, so it's where all the creepy crawlies hide out. They're hiding in the shadow. You got to bring the light to it. Oh, there's an assassin in here. Oh, there's a serial killer in here. You could be useful to me. You are now integrated. Who's next?
Bonus and loving vibrations to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. I have a poor connection. I hope you can still hear me.
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity to face myself. I would like to say that I am selfish. I believe that others should be focused on me as I am focused on myself. I'm a liar. I lie about what I believe is real, so that the illusions that I have created won't be destroyed. I'm an abuser. I have hurt people, both people that I love and just people in general. I have hurt the earth and I've hurt myself. And for all of that, I would like to practice Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Beautiful share. Thank you. It's very simple, family. It's very simple. Get in there with yourself. It's very simple. And free yourself. Who and how much manifestation would you bring forth on the third dimensional plane with all that regained, recaptured power? Power of the darkness. It's powerful. Who's next?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Latoy.
I love this lesson. You know, I bought the Existential Kink for like a month ago, and yet I will do everything possible not to complete it. The avoidance of it, of going to the shadow. And I realized if I want to be the light of the world, which is what God gave me to be, Source gave me to be and told me to be, then I need to go into that shadow and light some light up in there and find me and find all the gunk and the mess that I refuse to wait in, and go in there, step in there, wipe it all over my body and acknowledge it and grow to the being I'm meant to be. I'm complete.
Latoy, did you ever watch American Horror Story?
Yes, I have. I watched the one with the coven, I guess, or the witches. That's the only one I watched.
I love Coven. Oh my God, I love Coven. Watch Apocalypse, American Horror Story Apocalypse. This thing is so good. You know why? Because in one scene, you see, the whole premise of Apocalypse is that the child of Lucifer is the one who's supposed to start the apocalypse. He doesn't feel evil. He's like, I'm not evil. You know, he's not evil. He's like, he has a purpose. Bring destruction, bring the apocalypse. But he's all, you know, the 4 horsemen are ready and everything. But he's all kind of like, yeah, I'm the child of Satan, but I don't feel very evil. You're right. You have a job. You're supposed to bring you got one job to bring the apocalypse, and you're not even evil enough to bring the apocalypse. It's so funny. So in one scene, they're in the Church of Satan. And I don't really believe that real Satanists or real Luciferians are really like this, but it was such a good scene. And they're in the church and they're like, you need to go to the Church of Satan so you can get more evil. Come on. We're counting on you to be evil. Okay. So they're in the Church of Satan. And the pastor, this is exactly what shadow work looks like. They're in the Church of Satan, and the pastor has on this long red, you know, because everything's red, because they're evil. They want the apocalypse. They want humanity to be destroyed, and they made their pacts with the devil, so they're going to be set up, and they're going to be rich and everything else. And the pastor is saying, oh, how can we bring the apocalypse if y'all are not being evil? You know, she's talking to the congregation. Tell me what y'all did this week that was evil. You know, one person says, they raise their hand. Yes. I stole $100 out of the cash register. She says, oh, please. That's not evil enough to bring the apocalypse. You know, somebody else is like, I kind of looked longingly at somebody else's wife. But did you commit adultery? No. Oh, that's not evil. You know, she's just so riled up that this congregation is not evil. We need evil. And what you really want to do is you really want to be that pastor going through your consciousness. That was the exact scene for shadow work. You're supposed to be going into your conscious. Where's the evil around here? And don't accept. I looked at somebody. I got mad at somebody for 10 minutes today. Don't accept that. No, that's not evil enough. That's not what I'm looking for. Because I promise you. You go deep in your consciousness, you're gonna find the evil. Okay, you're gonna find it, and you're gonna be like, "Damn, I done did some whole lot of dirty shit to people." Wow, just as we heard our sister just say. Okay, it's confession. It's good for the soul. Who's next?
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is the first time I'm on your stage. Thank you for having me.
Oh,
so excited.
welcome.
Thank you so much. I have to thank, a warlock, I guess he is, David, for finding you for me. Because I had been in another ACIM group. And I think I've been in your audience a couple times, and you just, you knock it out of the park. It's like, oh my gosh, she takes it to another level. You take it to another level for me. And just really grateful. I actually recently purchased your book, and I haven't even opened it yet. I think it's How to Know If You're a Witch.
Yes.
And I think I heard from you also that, however, if you join the channel or join your group, you get the books for free. I think I've heard that.
Yes, if you join the YouTube channel, it's only $4.99 a month, and you receive the books, the ebook versions of the books, as a gift. Yes.
Okay. I want to do that. Wow, the shadow side stuff. Yeah, they don't even touch this in the other ACIM group. And because I'm on the same lesson 64, and I've been peeling back the layers, and I think for quite some time now, I've really recognized my shadow side, or at least a lot of aspects of it. For example, and it's funny you were talking about, and I'm speaking kind of low. I hope you guys can hear me because I'm not at home. I don't want to wake.
Yes, very clearly. Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. It's funny you mentioned that show.
American Horror
Story. I just lost it.
American Horror Story.
Right. Mm-hmm. American Horror Story. I think another great show where light meets darkness. I don't know if you've seen Midnight Mass.
Oh, no, but I've heard of it. Is it good?
Oh man, it's an excellent example of that, of like this pastor meeting the dark side of himself and really exploring that, and it comes out in this way, in this demon. You know, it's just really, I would recommend that for that particular topic. In terms of the shadow side of myself, I've definitely seen and recognized the murderer, you know, because I used to take such pleasure in watching murderous shows and, you know, murder, killing. And I used to ask myself, why do you get such enjoyment out of this? And I love being introspective with myself and figuring out who I am. And when I started asking myself these questions, that's when the answers came. And it's because, well, that's because who you are. And actually, an ex who I'm actually back with, which is interesting. After I did healing, I got back with him, which is so crazy. Another long story, but I'm like, wow, because there's a murder in you. You know, you would take delight in murdering. And when I faced it, it was such a crazy realization of, wow, that's in me. And then I began, you know, integrating it. I integrate that into business, which is very helpful in some business situations. So I've learned that to pull her out. My ex calls her Conan.
As in Conan the Destroyer? I love it.
He used to call me Conan. He said, you brought Conan out on me. So yeah, I got my Conan. But the one big one that I still deal with, and thank you for the sisters who brought up Ho'oponopono. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. I've heard it before, and I'm going to use that. And I suppose I can use it, but the biggest one for me has been unworthiness. And that's the one that still pops up to need healing.
And doing A Course in Miracles, and I just started that this year, has been extremely healing for me. It's just been, it's such a beautiful, beautiful book. Christ consciousness, I feel that. I feel my angels coming through, my spirit guides, everything's just happening. I also do Breath of Fire.
Yummy.
That healing, that breath work,
yes,
has also accelerated my healing. My awareness and discernment has really sharpened. But I feel like I definitely need help healing this aspect. It's the unworthiness rears its head in things like, and this is just being real. I haven't really admitted this to anyone. Boy, talking about being raw is, everybody's getting the little surgeries, the little, getting their stomachs done and the booty's done. And I'm like convinced, this part of me that's like, yeah, you got to get that done, girl, because you're not going to look right till you get that done, and it's been such a thing on my back, like, just get it done, it's not that much money, it just won't leave me alone. And I'm like, why is it this thing of unworthiness with me? So yeah, that's that's a big part of something that needs healing within me, and I could definitely use some help with that. Thank you.
Woo, sis, you in my lane now, because I have been saying that to myself, I don't know, probably off and on for a year. Oh, I should go in and get this belly tightened up, get this booty lifted back up. Oh, I should do this, I should do that. And I go back and forth, watching videos. Don't watch videos. No, I'm not doing that. I ain't trying to have nobody cut me. And then, I'm going to go do it. So what did you decide?
That is me. I'm on this thing. It's called Ideal Image. And you put you in touch with all these plastic surgeons. You can get the best of the best. And I'm just still there, like weighing it. And I'm going from the whole thing of, I've never really had major surgery in my life. I've never even had a C-section. So this is my divine temple. And I know that. And I don't need to have anybody cutting in on it to make me, for what? Right? For what? I mean, I go to the gym. I mean, I'm pretty healthy. Why am I doing this thing? So that's where I'm at. I keep going back and forth. I watch the surgeries, don't watch them. Say I don't need it, I do need it. So I'm kind of stuck, to be honest.
Okay. One thing that I noticed was active in my consciousness as I was examining this, I was examining myself. What do you want? What is really going on here? Here is what I found. I found in myself, I don't know what you will find in yourself. What I found was judgment. And what does that mean? Judgment on having it, because in the back of my consciousness, in the shadow self, there's this belief that you got what you got and you're not supposed to do nothing about it. And if you do something about it, that's some form of self-loathing. Now, that is not true. That was the script, a faulty script, playing in the back of my mind, that though I may choose not to have it, which is what I chose not to have it. I'm too healthy. I like being healthy. I can't be with needles and no. I value health over everything, over looks over everything. Health, I've been a health and wellness, a health nut for a very long time. I can't see I never had a major surgery either. I had my 3 children, 2 of them had natural childbirth, never even had no pills, no painkillers, nothing. I had that 3rd one, and they speeded up the labor with some oxytocin. And I was like, what the fuck was that? And they were like, well, we can give you a little something to take the edge off. You better take the whole edge off, because I wasn't having this, I didn't have those kind of contractions with natural childbirth. But anyway, I don't do doctors. I don't do, and the thought came up for me. What if I'm perfectly healthy, perfectly happy, energetic, travel around the world, go whenever I go, do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it, as spirit guides me, right? Not I, as spirit guides me. And what if I do it and they nick some artery or something, and then for the rest of my life I'm dealing with that thing? No, I'm not willing to take a risk. I'm not willing. Now, most everybody is very healthy. It's extremely, well, when I say healthy, it's very safe, right? You see everybody having these kinds of operations. It's a thing. Everybody, you see all these booties walking around. Everybody's got this booty look. Everybody's got this tummy, tucked. Everybody's got this hourglass. Everybody's on Instagram with the new bodies.
I know.
Right? Everybody got these new bodies. And Harmony too, girl. Harmony got her new body, flat tummy, all of it, It's beautiful. And when I went deeper and deeper and deeper within myself, past the judgments, past the made up stories about it, because it's neutral. Remember, everything in the third dimension is neutral. That's what A Course in Miracles teaches. It's not right or wrong, good or bad. Everything is neutral, right? The question is, what is my consciousness about it? Because what my consciousness is about it is my secret intention that lives underground, that's in the shadow, and that's what's going to manifest when I have it. Give you an example. If I have some unacknowledged self-hate in my consciousness, the surgery is not going to be anything but my spiritual teacher to show me the depth of loathing that I have inside my own consciousness for myself. If I have in my consciousness, I'm doing this from love and making myself my best self, and I'm not a body anyway, I can do anything to this body, and my consciousness can heal it, right? Then I have a different intention going into it. The intention is what drives the results, not the surgery and not the doctor. You create your reality with your consciousness, as I am with my consciousness. And I decided, well, I haven't done all the things that I could do to make myself have the best body that I can have. I haven't done my waist training like I keep. How many waist trainers I got? I haven't done my yoga every day like I could. I haven't done my weight training like I could. There's a lot I have not done. So how about I do that and see what happens? How about I do the work? That's the conclusion I came to. And I can't sit down for no 6 months. And I know the kind of person I am. I give myself full time and space for healing. I'll be sitting down for about 6 months to a year. Can't do it. Ain't got no time for it. I'm going to keep it moving. So that was what I came to within myself after deep examination. And really, sis, no one can tell you, within yourself, within yourself the truth of what's right for you. And is it tempting to get it because it's everywhere? It's cheaper now. It's very safe. They've perfected it. They can do it one day. A few months later, you got this new body. Yeah, that's all true. And what's really going on in my consciousness? And you got to get deep in the shadow to know that. Is that helpful? Maybe I added more uncertainty to the whole thing.
No, that was extremely helpful. Thank you so much. And I'm there with you with the working out. Because I know good and well, I am not doing the work in the gym. The same thing, I'm not doing my yoga daily like I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be in yoga teacher training. I'm supposed to be starting. I'm not doing all that stuff. And I kind of fall off the wagon with eating too. And I'm very much health conscious and into great foods, organics, and all the good stuff. But I sit there with my daughter on the couch and we polish off a big bag from Costco's of popcorn. So the belly is going to stick out if you're doing those kind of things. So yes, thank you so much. That was very helpful.
Delicious. And here's the deal. I know inside myself that my mind can make my body into anything I want it to do and to be. Do I want to do the work is the question. Or do I want to just, I know this and I know how to do it. So do the work, Val, and not be lazy. Do the work. Doesn't it all come down to that? Do the work. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that, because you and I had the same identical thoughts going on. And I made my decision. I was like, okay, let me get down to work and do this body work. I'm in all these waist trainer groups. I'm in all these, health and wellness, love, health and wellness. I'm all in this yoga, following this yoga dude on Instagram that I've been following forever, looking at him like, yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And then right after I go to this lovely little cafe. Come on, who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? Let me do the work. Be ruthless with yourself, family. Ruthless. Who's next? Oh, y'all can't hear me on Clubhouse? Uh-oh. I think my Clubhouse went out. Thank you. Harmony, go ahead and moderate till I get back on Clubhouse. Thank you. Okay. Okay, we're going to get Clubhouse all the way together. So let me get Clubhouse all the way together. And in the meantime, Harmony is going to moderate on Clubhouse for us. And family, let's look at our chat. Soul Whisperer, wow, we had quite the discussion today. Quite the discussion today. And now I'm going back into our Clubhouse discussion. My daughter said to me that it looks like I have a talk show. I love, or like a radio show, like people call in. I said, I love it. I love that. So let me get this straight. I'm coming to you today, by the way, from Las Vegas. Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm here for the Bitcoin conference called Unconfiscatable. It started the day before yesterday. Today we have a full day. Today is the third and final day of the conference. And yesterday I learned so much and heard so many new things. By the time I went to bed last night, my head was, I needed a nap. Okay, let's go back into Clubhouse. I think we should be good now. Okay, am I back?
There she is. Yes, you're back.
Okay. All right, good. Who's next?
I'm so grateful because you were about to make a point, and I was hanging on my seat to hear it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to share a bit about that. I think it's never been on the table for me, doing surgery, because I also am really into health and also just come from kind of a feminist punk rock background. So I'm just on the more, I have resistance or rebellion towards that stuff, and don't want to give in to that kind of, those kind of things. So anyways, I went to, this morning I was struggling. I noticed that I started to experience some delayed rage about in relation to a question that my friend asked me last night. She just asked me if I'm getting paid for my music gigs, like if they're paying for my airplane, my flight, and my Airbnb. And I was telling her, like, well, it depends. Like, this one paid for the Airbnb, this other one paid for the flight. And I started getting pissed about it this morning, and I realized, well, I think it comes from probably a sense of unworthiness on my end, but also or shame, around maybe not getting everything paid for, and like when I was in Florida, I paid a lot for being there, but I was also there for just myself and the trip and everything. But I realized too, I think I've been realizing this for a while with me and this friend. I think it's a little bit of a frenemy situation, but I don't think that she realizes that. But I do experience like jealousy with female friends and like competition, but it's never like really talked about that much. But I think it happens on both ends. And I feel like she was saying that because she was jealous, like she was asking me that. And although I don't know that, and like kind of trying to insult me. And I think I've probably done, you know, similar things with her. She's a stripper, and she's like my second close friend that has been a sex worker. And it's kind of hard to be around because they can make so much money, and you know, and it's something that I've kind of experimented with before, but I've realized that it's just not for me. And she's just kind of said like a couple things that have rubbed me the wrong way. And yeah, I guess that's just where I'm at this morning, just thinking about that.
What did you
Rev,
decide?
I don't think we were complete with Janine, though.
Okay.
Janine, I don't think we were complete before you went dark. I don't know if Janine had completed her loop.
Oh, thank you for that. And then we'll return to Jen. Janine, continue.
I appreciate that. I think, Kaisi, you were going to make a point, but then that's when you kind of went off. And then I think I was going to ask about judgment and dealing with judgment, because I think that's the source of where my desire is coming from to get the surgery is self-judgment. And I guess I just need to explore that, is where is this judgment of self coming from? And also, I guess, to forgive that in myself and accept that it's not really real. It's coming from ego, and looking at it from that perspective, that it's not even really real. Even as I say it, it begins to dissolve in me.
The question is, how do we know that a flat tummy and a big booty is desirable? We made that shit up. We made it up.
Well, I'm just here to tell y'all, from somebody who just had it done, the fat still needs to go somewhere. So until you start eating right and get that workout regimen right, that fat is still going to go somewhere. Now, like, I had heavy chest to begin with. Now they are getting huge and bigger, and my thighs, baby, listen. So that fat is still going to go somewhere. So now I'm to the point where I'm like, okay, you had this surgery. However, now you have to get your energy back so you can do the things that you should have been doing anyway prior to the surgery, because that fat is still going to go somewhere. Just because you got your whole stomach cut off, okay, now that fat is just going to go someplace else. So definitely you have to do all of that work first and get your mind right first. Because if you don't have your mind right first, and after the surgery, if you're still doing the same things you were doing pre-surgery, that fat is going to go somewhere else. So now I'm like, oh my God, I can't handle my boobs getting any bigger than this. I can't handle these thighs getting any bigger than this. So the work that I should have been doing prior to surgery, and that inner work, all of that, the food addiction, all of that has to be taken care of before the surgery. So you're absolutely right with that, Rev.
It's very profound. And this has got so many layers and dimensions. It's not simple. It's not straightforward. It's not. Like, how much do you improve yourself, and from what consciousness? Like, do you get surgery in your face? Do you get fillers? Do you get this? Do you get that? Do you get eyelid surgery? Do you get, it could go on and on and on. Like, how much is right for you? It's so multi-dimensional and multi-aspects. There is no one simple answer for each person. This is a deep dive within consciousness. And one person will come to a yes and one person will come to a no, and both of them will be right for them. We cannot at all give anyone any answers. You truly must go and search out the answers within yourself. You must, right? You must. The other day, by the way, thank you, Lynn. I didn't mention this the other day, Lynn, and I'm going to mention this again. And family, hear me. Hear me. The other day when I was coughing, blah, 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 right? In love, sometimes we rush in to try to heal or take care of other people because we think we see a problem. Oh my God, you're coughing. Well, do this, take this and take that and take that. When that is coming from a judgment, what is the judgment? That person shouldn't be coughing. That's judgment. Yes, they should. If they are coughing, they should be coughing. We look at it and we think it should be some other way than what it is. And then with our healing asses, we are healers. And we got all the potions and the magic wands and the spells and the crystals. We'll just use pink quartz crystal and just do that. We rush straight into the, well, do this, do that. Get your hog mugwort, get this, get that, burn this candle, get that, and get rid of that thing. But we didn't even ask, what is the thing? Because I don't know what anything is for. Why am I coughing in the first place? Don't go straight to some solution when people are having an experience. When people are having an experience, I don't do jack. I sit there. There's nothing for you to do. Why do you fucking think that there's something for you to do if someone's having an experience that has nothing to do with you? We don't get that. But because you have not looked at your own fucking shadow, I don't know who's coming through today. Well, this must be Melvin, because these spirit beings, they up here slapping all of us. Because you have not looked at your shadow and you haven't looked at your own inner cough, you can't be in the presence of someone who's having an experience. It starts to disrupt your spirit. So you think, please stop doing that because I don't want to look at myself. Ooh, damn. Please stop crying because I'm going to start crying in a minute. No, they're there. Get yourself together. How can I help you? Because I really don't want to deal with all my sad feelings. In a minute, I'm about to be all to pieces. So please stop crying. Don't want to look at self. I've said it 50 million times since we've been here since January 1st. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. Don't nobody put nothing in the comments about nobody else. Is that clear? Am I stuttering?
I say, motherfuckers, I say.
Am I stuttering? Y'all busy looking at somebody fucking else. Why? Look at yourself. Somebody have an experience. Look at yourself. Ooh, close my eyes. Go within. What's happening for me? Scan your body. You know how to do it. You're in meditation every morning. Ooh, I feel a disturbance in my soul when they do, in my spirit or in my body when they do that. Oh, I'm being triggered right now. Oh, what is that? It's guilt. Oh, I have guilt. Okay, my holiness is my salvation. That's how you become a fucking ninja of yourself. Yet, we think it's love. Right, Lynn? And I love you. And I love that you shared that because I know people are doing that from love for me. And we do it for love. Like I want to rush in. I do the same thing. I'll be getting in my kids' lanes all the time. And then I was like, oh, I'm all in your lane. Well, just do this and just do that and do that. Because, you know, you can see things. And they'd be like, Ma. I'm like, oops. Say no more. Let me step back. I told my daughter that a couple of months ago. I was like, you know what, Gaia, please forgive me. I'm so sorry. I love you. Thank you. I'm going to step back because I know you got it. I was so, on her because I know that the baby had passed and I was watching her like a hawk because I didn't know which way she was going to go. Because I never saw a pit that deep and dark, and we went straight down in that deep, dark pit. I just grabbed her and held her, and we were like, shoom, because I was going to hold her while she was in that pit. I didn't know how long she was going to be in that pit. She just went straight down in the pit, and we sat outside the hospital when we got the news, and I just held her, and shoom, went straight down into the pit. And I didn't know. God is everybody, and God isn't everybody, and God has everybody. Get in your lane, Kaisi. Okay, let me be in my lane. You get to be in your lane even when you get to be with another. Don't step over in their lane. God got them, even if it's your fucking kids. Okay, I'm here to be the light of the world. I'm here to love. You know, the soul, he had already talked to me in the bathroom, like I told y'all. Stay out of people's lanes, family. Ooh, this is a big lesson for us. Because we're all healers and we love people and we're always helping people and we got all the answers. And we don't allow something's unfolding. I will sit here and cough my head off and not take, I got ginger, I got this, I got vitamins, I got all that shit. I'm not going to take none of it until Spirit tells me. I won't move until Spirit, and Spirit said, it's a release. I was like, oh, good. Let me release that. Why would I want to stop coughing if Spirit is releasing something out of my system? What is a minister?
You said that was so sexy. We were on the phone and I was like, Rev, are you okay? You're like, oh yes, I'm just releasing something.
Yeah, I'm
like,
releasing stuff.
Let me release. And I was like, oh, let me get a cough. I want to release some things. But we so often do that. I'll never forget when you said, like, if you are sick with like something like, I think it was like diarrhea or something, most people will go straight to the Pepto-Bismol. And it's like, why? Your body is expelling exactly what it needs to expel. So ever since then, I won't take anything for anything. So whatever's going on in my body is just going on in my body. And I know it's for a reason. And you taught me that. That's so gangster right there. That's spiritual gangster.
You know, why wouldn't, we're going deep with these lessons. Why wouldn't these lessons get in there and stir up some old stuff? This stuff was probably lodged deep down in there. And the Spirit is stirring that stuff up and it's going to come out of your body temple. I have seen people in ayahuasca experiences. They're puking, they're peeing, they're crying, they're snotting, they're running to the bathroom, pooping, they're shitting all over the place, they're peeing. That stuff is coming out. Let it. Is that helpful for Janine? And the question on the table, is this for me or is it not?
That was diamonds. That was beautiful. Thank you. And thank you, Tanya, for recognizing. I still wasn't quite finished, so I appreciate that. But thank you, and gratitude and love.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Harmony, for keeping us harmonized and not letting us proceed before we got all the juice out of this orange. We're still on this orange getting juice for all of us. Yes. Denelzia, that's right, Denelzia. They getting rid of all the negative mucus from the system. That is exactly right. You know, Denelzia, I read somewhere a long time ago that if you didn't clean out your colon, the first ice cream cone you ever ate is still in your, like some of that ice cream is still in your colon right now. It was so freaking scary to me. Mother ayahuasca has cleaned so much stuff out of our system. Tons of shit, literally. When you have an ayahuasca experience, you see how full of shit you really are. I promise you. Would you want to stop shitting? Oh, I need to stop shitting. That would be horrible if you stop shitting. Keep shitting. Get it out. Get the stuff out. Okay, continuing with Jen. So, Jen, what did you decide with regard to the frenemy, the jealousy, the competition, the sex worker with regard to they got buku bands and I don't? What did you decide?
Well, I just was thinking maybe I should just talk to her about how I felt around that, but realizing that it's like an irrational thing, but just being honest about where I am with it, you know.
Where are you with it? That you feel jealous that she makes money as a sex worker and you don't make money in your music? Or as much money as you want to make?
Well, the feeling, the anger that came up around when she asked me if and I do make money with my music, but the anger that came up when she asked me if I got my flight paid for, and I don't know. I'm just feeling like maybe she was trying to poke at me with that for some reason. But yeah, I don't know. Then we were kind of talking about, like, I've been talking about how I have my own business, and then she says she has her own business too. And then part of me is like, well, it's not really a business that she has because she's working for the strip club, but I guess it really is, you know? And I was saying, like, well, I paid like $3,000 in taxes last quarter, and she's like not doing that. And doesn't really have to pay that much in taxes because she can claim it just as cash. And so, yeah, I think there's jealousy coming up on my end about stuff, and I am guessing that there's also jealousy on her end coming up about stuff. I don't know that a conversation does any good around it, but maybe I just need to do Ho'oponopono.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
You have your own answers that,
Yeah.
I know rage came up when she said it, right? That means she stepped on a, which is actually helpful for you because it could be the part of you that's saying charge more.
Yeah, well, I've been, attempting to charge more, but it hasn't been happening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it has been happening for music actually, because since COVID, I've only been playing shows that where I get paid a guarantee, and so that has been happening, but it's still not really at the level where they'll pay for my flight and pay the fee and pay the Airbnb. You know what I mean? But that's like not really common for a lot of bands. It's generally people are touring and on the road and play. So, but for my therapy also, I'm a therapist, and that I have been attempting, I have been saying my rate is so-and-so, but like everybody that's been coming in lately has not been able to afford it.
So what happens when they're not able to afford it?
I have been lately offering sliding scale sometimes, but I haven't booked a sliding scale client yet. It's just I've offered it, but it hasn't happened.
So the person says that they can't afford your regular rate, and then you tell them there's an opportunity for a lesser rate, and they don't take that either?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. What would you like to charge for your band? Would you like to get your airfare taken care of, your Airbnb, food? What would you like?
For sure. I mean, but I shouldn't say but. It would, if it's a one-off show to cover all that stuff, it would probably need to be $1,000 per show to really cover everything, if not more. But it's probably better to play multiple shows at one time, like in a similar area, to be able to make more.
Well, the question is, what do you want? Because you're creating the whole thing from the inside, right? You're creating, whether it's one show or a tour, you're creating where they are. You're creating the audiences. Yes. You're creating the proprietors of the establishments.
Yeah.
Yes. So what do you want?
$1 million, like Paris Hilton.
Hello. What, have you asked for it?
No.
You want it, but you haven't asked for it?
Right.
Do you want to ask for it?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and ask for it right now.
Okay. I want $1 million for a show.
$1 million per show.
$1 million per show.
Don't you think Beyonce makes more than that?
Oh, probably.
Absolutely. Doesn't J-Lo make more than that?
Probably.
Doesn't probably Mariah Carey make more than that? They say she's diva of all divas, honey. She be having you take out the green M&Ms, okay? If that's true, I don't know. I don't know what they do. These are things people say. I haven't been there. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
I can tell that Mariah Carey has an extremely high estimation of herself. I freaking love that about her. Like, she is up. She don't even move when she's singing. She's like, no, I don't dance. Like, that'll be extra. You don't get dancing with Mariah Carey. She would stand in one place and she would be like, ah, and one song, and that was $1 million Grammys. Okay, bye. Like, she holds that value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if that's what you want, then that would have to be what you are thinking, what you are vibrating, what you are feeling that you already receive. You already have it. Not I want it. I already have it. This is how I flow. This is where I live. This is what $1 million a show looks like. I would so freaking embody $1 million a show. Game over. Embody it now as a living reality, as a breathing, palpable, living reality. The universe has to rise up to meet you. It has to. It's the law. It has to. It has to meet you. It's the law. And that would mean going into the shadow and getting rid of the unworthiness that is going against you and integrate it so that the unworthiness works for you. I'm unworthy of lack. I'm unworthy of any limitations. Not I'm unworthy of my good. It's still unworthiness. You flip it. I'm unworthy of having anything less than what God said. I'm unworthy of that. And see, it will take a major shift in consciousness. That's all. Which all of us are doing, by the way, aren't we?
Which all of us are doing?
Aren't all of us doing a major shift in consciousness?
Yeah.
Yes. How does that feel? Can you embody that? Can you live it, breathe it, eat it, sleep it? I'm eating $1 million show breakfast right now. This $1 million show, $1 million a show is in my coffee. It's in my water. It's on my pillow. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. This is what I do now. $1 million a show. I only have to do one show a year because I got $1 million a show. And then the rest of the time I go around and play for people that can't pay me.
Well, it feels like I need to start lower, you know?
Oh, so you don't really believe $1 million a show. This doesn't feel, it's not real for you.
Well, I'm part of, like, the music scene that I'm part of is
it has nothing to do with the music scene you're part of. It has nothing to do with that. It has only to do with your consciousness. It doesn't matter if you're a concert pianist, a violinist, a rock star, because we can show you people in all those genres that have $1 million a show, and we all of them.
Okay.
True.
I'm like the dark wave scene. So I don't know if that's in that scene. Well, I guess it could be like Trent Reznor, you know, like 9 Inch Nails or something. Could be an example.
I guarantee you, every genre, there are people making way more money than other people, aren't there? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what determines that? Consciousness, because they're in the same genre.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be a big expansion for you, Jen, because what's now in the way are all the limiting beliefs that are tied to what you think, not only you deserve, what you think you can get doing what you love doing. Because we have those kinds of limitations too. Not only limitations on self, we have limitations on what we think we can be paid for doing the thing that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I had that. I had to kick that stuff to the curb. It was horrible. And it was keeping money away from me that was rightfully mine, that had my name on it. There's money right now that has your name on it. You're supposed to have it. It's in a big old pile. It's in a big pile, waiting for us to have the realizations.
Thank you. And sorry if I interrupted. I thought you were moving on to the next person earlier.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. Because we had a little a pause there with my connection. We had a pause. We just needed a pause. So we're good. We're good. So thank you, Harmony. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jen, for sharing that.
And I think a lot of us do that in what we do, what we create. This girl, she paid me to make yoga, meditation baskets for her birthday party coming up in a couple of weeks. And I love my book, Spiritual Badass. And so I was like, I was having this resistance in putting my own creation in the basket. So I would have been okay with going to the store and buying someone else's creation instead of just really advertising, amping up, adding in something of my own that somebody already paid me to do. So when you said we just have to flip the unworthiness, I am unworthy of not receiving. Like, I love that so much. And when I tell you that was what I came here for today, I will never go without again.
Shame. I felt that. Woo-hoo. No, I'm unworthy of that. No, thank you. Can't do it. I'm unworthy of lack because God gave me a fortune. No, I'm unworthy of people that don't hold me as the queen and goddess that I am. I'm unworthy of that. Won't do it. Whew. We freeing the saints up in here. We having church up in here. Who's next?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, dear. How you loving?
I'm loving well, and I hope you are too.
I am.
I'm glad I came behind Jenny and Harmony because I felt like that was the same lesson for me too. And I'm glad that I got it. I raised my hand initially because the part of the lesson that said love and be happy. I mean, forgive and be happy. That's what it was. Let me forgive and be happy. It made something click for me. I don't know if you all know about a man named Michael Lozier wrote a book called The Law of Attraction. And he also wrote another book called Your Life's Purpose. And I had been a part of his group for years studying those books. But it never really clicked to me until this lesson today when I got to the part of forgive, let me forgive, and be happy. Because in his book, Your Life's Purpose, he said that your life's purpose is to be happy. And I never really understood that until now, because like I went searching for my happiness in things that I could do or things that I could obtain. But this lesson showed me that all I have to do is forgive myself for all of the mistakes that I made. And that's the key to happiness for me. And when I get there inside myself, my whole world will start changing around me. Like the phrase, be the change you wish to see in the world. For me, the key was forgiving myself, because I found it interesting that it seemed like the vein of the topic went toward body image issues. And when you talked about the shadow, your shadow self, it's easy for me to see all of the negative shadow stuff that is blatantly negative, like stuff that I would consider evil or hurtful to others. But it's that subtle shadow stuff that I have a blind eye turn to, that's eating me, that's really holding me back. It's those limiting thoughts and those body image issues. And I went back to thinking over my life while everyone was speaking before, and I thought about it ever since my teenage years. I've tried every kind of breast enhancement thing that I could find to try to make my breasts larger so that guys would think that I was good enough to be a girlfriend. And because I saw that my cousin that was my age mate, when we were in 8th grade together, I saw that the guys that I had crushes on liked her, and I attributed to her having big breasts and a big butt, you know, because as we were kids growing up, she was always the fat girl and I was always the skinny girl. But when we got to high school, that fat hit her in all the right places and made her noticeable. And I didn't have any, so it made me unnoticeable. So that's what I attributed. So I said, okay, I just got to get my breasts large enough and then guys will like me. And then later I figured out that as long as I was having sex with them, they would like me. And that was what I got addicted to doing, just to prove to myself that I was likable, lovable, and all that kind of thing. And now, I think it was about 3 years ago now, I found a lump in my breast. Wow. And I thought, oh God, you know, I've spent all these years trying to enhance my breasts so that men will like me. And now you slap me in the face with some cancerous lump, right? But then I said, you know what? I refuse to accept this because the God I serve is not a punisher. And things happened. I changed my thoughts. The thing went away. By the time I went to the doctor for them to check it, there was nothing there. But it woke me up to the fact that I was spending so much time obsessing over my body image for love and affection that I wasn't just loving and accepting myself. And so that's why today's lesson really just, all I can say is, as it clicked for me, that I need to forgive and be happy. And I felt like when you spoke to Jenny and Janine, I felt like those answers were for me too, that I'm having the feelings of unworthiness and I'm letting it rule my life and make me feel like I don't deserve to ask for the money that I need, ask for the rates that I want to charge, things like that. So I kind of do things that just are just enough to get by, minimal enough to get by. But I know that I'm capable of doing so much more. And it's like, I just keep reminding myself what Queen Vasta said, if you spot it, you got it. And when I see Harmony doing all those things, when I was younger, in my 20s and stuff, I had all those ideas of doing all those creative things. But over the years, I squelched it because, like Princess, I had the thought that my mother put that seed in my head when I was younger, that you would be a starving artist. And that came out of her own fears, because my mother is a gospel singer, and she's a national gospel singer. And she's also a 40-year retiree from being a teacher all of my life. But she always kept it in my head that you have to have something to fall back on. You have to have a career to sustain you with those 401ks and things of that nature. So it made me kind of settle in my mind that if I don't have all of those things, I'm not good enough, and I'm not going to make it in this world. So when I left my job in 2018, from that time to this, instead of me going into my creative bag and doing, getting back to doing all of those things now that I didn't have a boss or anybody lording over me, instead of me doing that, I have literally spent all of my time from that time to this looking for employment. But I kept myself doing the independent contracting because that was what I had asked for initially in my to take care of me so that I'm not struggling to live from day to day. But I didn't ask for this stuff because I felt like I wasn't worthy to ask for it because I don't have the skills. I haven't practiced or whatever the case may be. And I just reminded myself of today's lesson that I just need to forgive and be happy. And I'm complete.
Woo! Woo! I heard a lot in that, Dia. I heard a lot. And it took me back to my teen years when I was developing and I got this booty, but I had skinny legs, booty and skinny legs. And so I was so skinny. And all the while growing up, skinny, then puberty. And then I went and got this booty, right? This booty popped out. And, little boobs, not really much. Skinny legs. And what did I do? I was taking weight on. Do y'all remember that drink back in the day? I laugh at my teen self now. She was so sweet. Oh, come here, baby. She was so sweet. My yesterday self, because she just wanted to have some thick legs. And she was looking around at the other girls. And if she saw a girl that had thick legs, she got a feeling of inadequacy because of skinny legs. Do you see that this story can be spun 50 ways to Sunday? I'm inadequate because I don't got boobs and booty. I'm inadequate because I got booty, but I don't got boobs. I'm inadequate because I got too much boobs and not enough booty. I'm inadequate because I got boobs and booty, but no legs. I'm inadequate because I got... Fill in the blank. Can we see, family, that none of it is so? None of it is true. None of it.
I'm just laughing because after, I was already heavy-chested. After my surgery, people come up to me and say, not did you get a tummy tuck? Not did you get a butt job? Did you get a boob job? And I'm like, no, damn it, they were already there. Nobody even notices anything else. Last night I went to a party and 3 people asked me, did I get a boob job? I'm like, huh? No. I'm like, damn, all it did was accentuate what I already had. Like, I promise you, I was like, that was not the response I was expecting. So it was like, you know what? God gave me what he gave me. I tried to alter it, and that's not what's happening right now. It's kind of funny.
It's almost like it accentuates more things, maybe more of what you had that you were not fully appreciating because you wanted something else.
Exactly.
It's so beautiful. You know what they used to tell me? They used to deride people that were skinny, but then they derided all kinds. They derided people that were fat. So they used to say things like, "Don't nobody want a dog, but don't nobody want a bone, but a dog, and even a dog will bury it." Well, dang, I'm just a bag of bones. Do you understand, family, that all these things we heard growing up, singers are a dime a dozen. Someone said it in the chat. Dia, as you were speaking, Soul Whisperer said, my mother told me singers are a dime a dozen. She was a teacher too and singer, so I wasn't good enough. And they tell you, yeah, you could sing, but you better have a backup. Because what they're telling you in explicit terms, explicitly inexplicit, you're going to fail at doing that. You're not going to be abundant doing what you love. And so you need to do something that's grunt work and shit work to take care of your life. And you're not going to be happy. That was the message. Yeah, they gave it to us in love because that was the message they received. People can't give you what they don't have. They didn't have A Course in Miracles. They didn't have abundance and love for self. They didn't have total acceptance for self. How could they give it to you? So you're here now to lift it for them and for your children too, if you have them. You're here to lift it for everyone. That's delicious. Thank you, Dia, for that share.
Can I add one quick thing.
Yes.
My mother is my antipode.
Oh, in your fifth force oracle, your mother is your antipode.
Yes, I knew that going in deep in me, and as soon as I wrote it out, I was like, now it made total sense.
Ooh.
That she was my strength and my challenge. I'm complete.
And that's what your antipode does. They strengthen you by challenging you. And the challenge is, no, you know what? I'm going to be happy and sing. I'm going to live my destiny. That's what I'm going to do. Who's next?
Yes.
Hola. And we can turn off hand raising after we get our last ones on stage. Because I'm getting ready to go get ready for the Bitcoin conference today.
Okay.
Yes. Talk to us.
Great rising. Thank you for letting me come up.
Yes.
I've been really getting a lot of messages every day since we've been doing these delicious lessons, and my relationships have really, friendships and family have really changed and shifted. And my birthday, this is my birthday month this month, and I remember since we had this class, I wrote down some things that I wanted to do with my daughter and my goddaughter, and I didn't tell either one of them anything. And so, but as I started going through these lessons, it seemed like no matter what lesson we on, I was having to forgive so many different things. Like, forgive me of judging other people. I think that's what came out of, I was in ministry, and I used to serve as a minister in church. And a lot of times I didn't realize, I can't talk about other people. I would just talk about myself. I didn't realize how much judgment that I had, because it was somebody's raising their dress up, the dress is above their knee, just silly, stupid, crazy stuff. I didn't realize it until I started doing these lessons, and people started calling me, and they were checking me. Like, I saw you, I caught you. And I was, you caught me doing what? I caught you in the Christian Riches room. I'm coming on stage. So
and then the question is, how did you catch me in the Christian Witches room? Was you in there too? Okay.
That's a good one. So, I should have said something about what was you doing in there?
Hello, they told on themselves.
I called you in the Christian Riches room. I was like, what? I'm not even hiding. How did you catch me? I'm not hiding. I'm coming on the stage, so I definitely am not hiding. And so when they started coming to me with that, I didn't check them. I checked myself.
Oh, good.
Because
Good move, master.
Yeah, that's a good one. How did they know I was in there? So anyway.
Well, just so everyone knows, in all clear transparency, anytime you come up on stage in any room and the replay on, if somebody clicks on your profile and they scroll to the bottom, it shows every room that you've been on stage in, and it shows the clip.
Unless I take
And you know what I'm wondering? Why is someone all over my profile like that rather than living their best life and creating their life? I'm not all over nobody's profile like that. Unless I'm looking for something specifically that they're doing, or looking for their Instagram specifically. Why is somebody all over your? So they still out of pocket because they all over your shit when they need to be all over their own life.
You gotta go all the way to the bottom. Yes. So Harmony tried to save them, but Reverend Val said, well, they still out of pocket. So why is they all over your profile?
That would have been a powerful conversation, beloved. So you were all over my profile. Yes. Well, let me ask you a question. Oh, that would have been a powerful conversation. Mm-hmm.
So that was something. And then I wear whatever I want to wear. I always did when I was in church, but I was always rebuked, as they say. And I did spend time with the Jehovah's Witnesses too. I studied with them, and I kept going. I studied with Buddhism. I kept going, and I went in and going back to the church. I studied with the Nation.
I studied with Al Islam. You know, there's different sections of Muslims, and I could just keep going on. And so I got to seem like I took a tour of religion, okay? And
nice.
so it seemed like they were all saying the same doggone thing. Yeah. Really, they were all saying the same thing. And so, but in Buddhism, they didn't talk about my dresses, and in the Nation of Islam, you already was expected how you were supposed to dress, so that wasn't even an issue. But they will welcome you. I noticed that the other religions will welcome you if you're not doing what their standard is. They will welcome you in. They don't try to scale the fish before they catch it. And that was the difference between the church and other religions. I found out that they would try to draw you in with love a little bit differently than others. But so as I was doing all this, as I'm doing this work here and doing my meditations every day, I'm noticing that things are coming off of me from when I'm looking at myself, not with so much harshness with myself, and now I'm not so harsh with other people. And so my goddaughter called, and she's like, what do you want to do for your birthday? And my daughter's like, well, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? We want to make sure it's all about you. And I spent the last few years crying every birthday because I wanted to be with them. And this year I was like, I told Angel, I'm planning this trip. I'm going to do me. And I'm going to have a great time. And they're calling me, we've got to stop our day to make sure you have a good time. I'm like, well, what? Yes. So where are we going? And we got to. And my daughter's like, I'm going to pay for this. And so she was like, well, I'm taking the car. You don't have to drive. You don't have to do anything. So you want to go to Galveston on the beach. And what else do you want to do? And what hotel? Where are we staying? So what is the itinerary? I'm excited. And I was like, what's the itinerary? So I said, well, I do have some plans. I have it all written out right here. And so I was just so in tears of joy about that because they were calling me. And so my goddaughter tells me I've changed. And so I think I must have changed. So as I changed, my situations started changing. As I started forgiving myself of all this judgment and stop all this judging other people. And just really listening to them. And I went and got the book Betrayal's Baby. Because my daughter was saying she felt like at some point she felt like she was slighted. So I listened to what she was saying, and then I was like, I really honor my mother now and her death. And she was like, what? I was like, oh, yes. I said, because I learned so much from your grandmother. And then I said, and even your grandfather, you know, I'm not close to my biological dad, the one that's in the hospital right now, whatever. I was saying, I learned so much from him. I learned about the U.S. from him. I learned about my first time going out the country was with him. So I just started explaining all these things that he taught me from afar and up close. And I said, he didn't raise me, but I feel like I got a lot out of him because my sister, my brother on my father's side was like, I don't understand how you got all that. We was in the house with him. We didn't learn that from him. But I really learned a lot from him. So I was telling her I'm honoring my parents, and she was like, really? And she was just listening. And she just like I could just see so many things changing in her face, her expression. She's like, you honor your parents? I was like, yeah. I said, because they did what they were supposed to do in my life, and I'm excited and I'm glad about it. She said, well, you always talk about mama, which is her great grandmother, which is my grandmother. I said, yeah, but she chose to raise me. She chose that life. But I said, your mother was so elegant. Your grandmother was very elegant, which is my mom. And then I just started telling her these things that I learned from her that I don't think I ever told my kids. And they were just like listening to me. And then I started telling her about her father because we went to school together. I met her father when I was 12. And my grandfather had just died. I went to Hamilton Junior High School and her father was there. And I went to another school. Her father was over there too. It was like we were following each other. But he was so shy to talk to me. And she was just, before I was telling her, you need to obey your father. Don't talk about your father. And that just didn't go well. So I just started telling these stories, which were true, about her dad and how industrious he was as a young person, and how, you know, and then Cece was the one I ended up marrying. I told her, Cece, how I ended up talking to him, and I didn't talk to her dad. Her dad would always be watching me and stuff. And then when I got to be older, I went somewhere and her dad was there, and I thought he was his older brother because he was totally different. And she started laughing, and she said, oh, I said, so maybe this is where you get the self-employment from, is for me and your dad, because I was raised you, I was self-employed, and then your dad come from a self-employed background, your grandmother on your father's side, self-employed, your grandfather on my side, which is my father, didn't really ever take a job like that. He was like more independent contractor. I started telling her about these things, and it just seemed like so many shackles just changed, just shifted. And when my goddaughter, when she was telling me something, I said, it's okay. And I really meant it's okay. Whatever she was afraid to tell me before, they can really tell me stuff because I really don't see them the way that I've seen them before. And maybe that's why they were coming running away from me. Maybe it was all of this judgment, you know. And so as I forgive myself of this judgment, I forgive others, I'm able to love people differently and just see them differently because I'm seeing myself differently. I'm releasing myself of all this stuff, like my dress got to be this away, and my hair is like so big, and people were asking me, what's wrong with you? Why is your hair so big? And then I was so glad when I saw Harmony, she had all this big hair. I said, well, somebody else, another goddess thinks like that too. So it's not just me. Some people just want to be big with big hair. I mean, not big in their body, but like big hair. And I like that too. I was just so excited to see her hair was so big in person.
The bigger the better, baby.
Yes. So,
and my mother hates it. She was like, you don't have to buy the biggest
thing in the store. Bring it.
Yes. I'm not the only one that's extra. Some of us just want to be extra because that's just who we are. It's okay just to be extra.
I'm very extra, and everybody has told me so, and I like it. I like extra. I like it.
Yeah, me too. And so as I'm seeing this, then I'm not understanding. My issue right now is shifting and in consciousness with money. I'm not going back to the job. I'm not going to do what I did last year. I'm passing this test. Spirit took me off for one job. I wouldn't leave. They fired me. Then I went and got another one, and I was totally miserable when I got this one. So I'm not doing that again, Kaisi. So that's not the issue. But I was so afraid of the IRS, and I really was. So my friend had told me, you know, because she's been doing these taxes for so long, 30 years or whatever, you're just screwed. You owe this and you did that. But Spirit was telling me that something was not right. But I didn't know what it was. But it's weird because I stopped concentrating on what she said I owe and started focusing on these classes here and forgiveness. But me and my goddaughter had wrote this down last year, 2021, that we don't know how it's going to get done, but the situation was going to be cleared up with the IRS. But then fast forward, I started going to these classes. I forgot all about dealing with that. And I closed my room early in the mornings to come here because Spirit told me to. And as I started going through all these lessons, but I started seeing this forgiveness, like forgiving this person, forgiving that person, forgiving myself, and stop judging people. As I'm going through that in all of these lessons, even I saw it in, you know, my salvation, that when we say, and what's another one that says, when we say, I was saying it all the way to Miami about something about, what's that one we say? We say it all the time, Kaisi.
And that my holiness is my salvation. I am sustained by the love of God.
Yes. Even when I was saying that, I was seeing like judgment leave me, like of judging people. Even though I'm talking about me being sustained, I was on a plane. I was just saying, "Forgive me." I'm okay. I was just saying, "Forgive me." And everything I would say, "I'm sustained by the love of God." Then I would be saying, "Okay, forgive me," because I'll see another person, and I would say, "Okay, I'm sorry about that," and I would just keep on saying, "I'm sorry." And I think these people were finding out that I really meant that because they started calling my phone, and those relationships were repaired. And I was so grateful for that. And so, my grandson, the relationship is different. And then I was looking at my affirmations. When my son didn't have custody, he didn't have my granddaughter back, and my grandson was so withdrawn. But I was like pushing him, because I was the only child too, and I could see how he was withdrawing. But when I got into this class months ago, I saw to go back to my affirmations for him. So I went to look back at my affirmations. He's so lively. He made all these friends, and my granddaughters with my son, which I think that's where she should be. And things just started to shift. And so as I'm releasing this judgment, now I'm like, okay, well, what do you want? So then this guy tells me about his friend that does taxes. This is all because of this class, everybody. I'm learning these things. And I had a money problem, I thought, but really I had a forgiveness and judgment problem. Actually, seeming like that.
Okay.
And so as I was working with him, he said, "I don't see this 60 grand that you owe them. So we're going to put this out there and just see what happens." So it came back. They took the money that I was going to get, but I'm okay because it was nowhere near 60 grand. Nowhere near that. And then I still had some left to put on other things. And I said, I couldn't have made this up. I had no idea where this money was going to come from. And was I on time? Angel asked me, "Are you going to be okay when you get back home?" I said, "Oh, yeah, everything's paid." I didn't know what the hell I thought my house was going to be paid. And I paid everything on March 1st. That's when it dropped into my account on March 1st.
Delicious.
So it took care of March. I was like, okay, that's taken care of. And I got April taken care of. So my issue now is, how do I shift into what I really want to do? I have one client that I'm going to be seeing this weekend, tomorrow. It's just one thing. She just needed something for me to work with her on. I worked with her in the past, but and I helped her with her business and putting some stuff together. But I got my site up. It's AlightedBrown.online. And I wrote from my heart on my site, but I really don't know how to present this to people. That's what I'm saying. How do I shift to be able to help people from the place where I am now? That's what I want to know. And thank you so much for showing me these lessons, because it helped me to see within myself. And as I saw within myself, my goddaughter and my daughter, and they've just been loving on me and calling me. And even when she goes into these things she wants to go into, I just was like, okay. She said something about you, Kaisi. She said, she said, "Sister, your people been asking you about this lady right here." She said, "I love that lady." She said, "Because she was able to get you to leave that job. Nobody can get you to leave that job. So I don't care."
That lady was riding your ass for you to leave that job. Alina, you still at the job? Wait a minute, Alina, you still at that job?
I was worried about that because she's coming to the thing. I said, "Well, you coming, right?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Where's the witches convention?" She said, "I don't care what she is. She can have a broom. She got my mother to leave that job."
while you were talking.
She called herself a Christian witch. I don't care. She got you to leave that job. So I don't care what they
say. I wrote that on the shadow piece of paper too. That people that are the people that are clocking you for being in the witches' room, they're really witches and wizards and warlocks and magical beings. They clocking you because they really want to come in themselves. But you know, that's in the shadow. They're not ready. So congratulations to your daughter. She said, I don't care if she got a broom levitating. I'm going to see that lady. I love it. Oh my God. So with regard to your question about, and I love the transformation experiences that you are having with family and how it's becoming apparent the work that you're doing, because now people are showering you with this beautiful birthday experience. And when is your birthday? March what?
March 27th.
Ooh, happy birthday in advance, of course. And so they're showering you with love as a representation of the inner transformation, as within, so without. Now that you are no longer at the workplace and Spirit already took care of paying everything for the month of March, your birthday gift, woohoo! Now you're ready to offer yourself in service to humanity. And you have one existing client and you have your website up. And how do you jump out there? I see the vision is you doing a cannonball into the pool. You splash in there. You go, you run straight up to the pool. You run and you just cannonball straight into the pool. You tell everyone right now, you'll know I'm not working. I left that job to fulfill my destiny. And what is my destiny? Being the light of the world and helping you forgive and me forgive and being in peace. Who wants some help? Who needs something? Who can I serve? Who can I serve? Who's sad? Who's despondent? I'm here. I showed up. I'm ready. And there is not a way that a prophet or a light worker is raised without a whole queue of people. The people have already been standing in line waiting for you. You know, it said it this morning in A Course in Miracles. It says the whole world is awaiting salvation through your forgiveness. The whole world is waiting. It's waiting. It's waiting for you to step up. It's waiting for you. And now you've said yes. Now you've said yes. It's waiting for you. So go get all your lovely clients, charge them well. You know, my very first client, one of my very, very early clients when I first started doing this work and coaching people and being a transformation agent, and I was coaching, and at one point I was doing love offering coaching, and it was people could offer a love offering because I didn't know what to charge. I was still in unworthiness. I didn't want to ask people for too much. I needed money. I couldn't lose the client. I'll do it for you. How much? Right? So I was all in that. I was swirling around in that. And I did this on my website. It said love offering coaching, and it was years ago. This was like 2006, 2007, maybe 2005, 2000. It was a long time ago. At any rate, here I had on my website that I would do this love offering coaching and have my PayPal link on there. And this was the steps to get your love offering coaching. You would do this and you would do this, and then we would have our session. Then at the end of the session, you give me the love offering, right? PayPal right there on the spot. So before we start, you ready? Yes, you're ready. You're going to be in a quiet place. You're going to be ready for your coaching session, and you're going to do a love offering at the end of the coaching session, you know, based on your experience. If you experience transformation, and you pay for it. Well, I remember that I did this. I was doing these love offering coaching sessions. And one lady I did this coaching session for, she was my greatest teacher, because at the end of the coaching session, now, mind you, because I was all over the place, she was all over the place. She was at work and like talking and having her coaching session at the same time. And I was like, well, you know, you have to be in a quiet place and so forth. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hold on. So and so and so. Okay. Yeah, I'm back now. This was the level of client that I was attracting. Well, that's my reminder.
We can't hear you.
Oh, thank you. That was my chimes reminding me to get ready for the Christian Witches Convention. And that's not until May for the Bitcoin conference that I'm at today. So I'm going to wrap up in a second. So after I did the coaching for this client, it was a whole hour. And I mean, we went into it and, she was all over the place because I was all over the place. Well, at the end of the conversation, I said, okay, now this person had never had life coaching before in their life or spiritual life coaching. And I said, okay, it's time for your love offering. What would you like to pay for your love offering? After we squared away all the steps she's going to take in her coaching and everything, we sealed up the whole coaching part of it. And, if there's going to be a next session or whatever. And she said, I don't know, $15. And you could have knocked me over with a freaking feather at the level of unworthiness, not enoughness, and lack and limitation I was operating in that smacked me in the face through this client's mouth. I was like, wow. 15, and I couldn't say anything to the client because this was my consciousness. I literally, the breath went out of me. It was like someone had punched me in the stomach. It was like, because I thought she was going to say at least 50, 100. A lot of clients would say 50, 75, 80, 100. This was like 16 years ago. She said, and the way she said it, I still remember it to this day because Spirit was showing me that's the level of unworthiness and not willing to accept your worth and own your worth that you are operating in. That's where you're living. That's where you're living. I was like, look, I gladly took that $15. Okay, we'll do it on PayPal. Thank you. I never talked to her ever again that I know of because I talked to a lot of people. So I don't know. Maybe later on I did talk to her again.
She might be on Clubhouse watching you right now.
Could be. If so, thank you. You are my greatest teacher when it came to coaching. Because do you know, she was my greatest teacher. Because do you know that my coaching fees started going up? Then I started doing $500 programs. Then I started doing $997 programs. Then I started doing $29.97 programs. When I did the $29.97 programs, I was squirming. Like, is anybody going to pay this? It was like 2007, 2008. I was like $3,000. Is anybody going to pay this? And people were like, okay. Every time I went up, guess what people said? Okay. Then I moved to 5,000. I was like, is anybody going to pay 5,000? Oh, okay. Then I went to 10,000. Is anybody going to pay 10,000? Okay. Then I went to $25,000 and had several clients at $25,000. I was like, I get this. I get this. Universe, you showing me that whatever I say is what it is. And I can't just say it with my mouth. I've got to say it with my whole being. Because I know the value I bring is not free. You don't get nothing from me for free. Nothing. We charge good prices, fair prices. And you're always going to get more transformation than you paid for with me. Always. Was you charged anything for being here this morning? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And me, I don't need your money. I'm well taken care of by Spirit. Spirit pays me through all the wonderful beings in my life. Spirit pays me. YouTube don't pay me. Book royalties don't pay me. Clients don't pay me. I am sustained by the love of God. I could do this and yes. It's beautiful. I'm sustained by the love of God. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's beautiful. Charge them well. Get your $1 million per show, Jenny. And Alana, get your whatever your number is for every client. Get it. Get it on.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that. Just jump out there in the pool.
Just cannonball into the pool. Make a big splash. Who am I here to serve? Who requires support? Who am I here to help? Who am I here to serve? Do you know how much money people are making right here on Clubhouse? Do you know you can sit on Clubhouse and make something like $20,000, $30,000 a month? Harmony, how much of that travel influencer be making on Clubhouse? I'm telling you, being on Clubhouse every day, you will make money every day.
She's living her best life. Black girl, originally from Cleveland, Ohio. Then she moved over to LA. Now
She does clubhouse rooms every Saturday, pretty much all day, from Thailand, living her whole ass best life, making six figures plus just by operating Clubhouse as the moderator of rooms. And she does such a beautiful job with it that it's amazing. And I'm like, okay. So it can be done. We just, no matter what the thing is, she's doing what I want to do as far as like travel influencing. So when I look at other people doing it, it looks so easy and effortless. And Rev, you struck a chord when you were just talking about the love offerings. So that's something that like when I tell you, it made me feel sick to my stomach when you started talking about love offerings, because so often, even when I was just talking about the girl who asked me to do the birthday bags, she said, "What do you charge?" I said, "This is something that I love doing." I don't even know, and it's my friend. I don't even know how to say, "Oh, my fee is." I don't know how to say that. So what I said to her was, "I don't have a fee. If you would like to give me a love offering, you can do so." And what she gave me was way more than what I would have ever said. So I have not had the experience yet where I say, give me a love offering, and it's something that I want to cry about. And me and my sister, I don't know if you remember me telling you about last year when I had did all of her wine journals. My sister has two wine boutiques and a coffee shop, and now she's getting ready to open a bar. So I did her wine tasting journals for her, did about 4 or 5 wine tasting journals for her, but put her as the author. And it was something that, it's my sister. So when she asked me, what do you charge? I said, oh, you can just give me a love offering. And did my sister rip me a new one. She's like, would you stop saying that shit? Charge, motherfuckers. I don't care if I am your sister. Charge, motherfuckers. She just went all off into charging people. And then started talking about every single thing I do. And at the end of it, she said, charge, motherfuckers. Like, stop doing shit for free. And I'm like, but to me, I wasn't doing it for free. I said, you can give me a love offering. So to me, like, when you said that, I realized that I was putting my worth in someone else's hands. So I
that's exactly
have to work on that because I'm still on the love offering kick. So that was struck a chord with me. My feelings are kind of hurt right now because I have to figure out how to get out of the love offering vibe. Because it feels good to say that, you could just give me a love offering. But does it feel good to say that, or am I just hiding from the fact that I'm putting my worth in someone else's hands?
That's exactly what I was doing. And because I wasn't valuing me, what would compel them to value me? Nothing. Here's the deal. American Express taught us a wonderful statement that I'm going to give to all of you right now. American Express taught me so much. That's where I got Charge More. And I'm going to finish that book because I did start that book on Charge More. I haven't finished it yet. So thank you, Spirit. I will write that book. I will complete that book on Charge More, how spiritual people can charge more. American Express taught us that after you go through the PMM, it's called a personal money management, with a new client, and you're about to charge them a fee for your services. The fee for my services will be blank. Practice it with me, everyone. The fee for my services will be...
The fee for my services will be...
Yeah. Yes. And then you put the number in, and then you say something that takes the little heat off, because people might be like, right? Because they should be doing that. If they don't go like, you charge too little. And if they agree real fast, yeah. Dang, my daughter just charged someone the other day. She had 4 or 5 locks customers who all wanted to start sister locks, or actually micro locks. And she charged each of them $1,200 because the minimum to charge is $900. And so she charged them $1,200. And one of them said, okay, can you get started right now? I was like, dang, you charge her too little. You should have done $1,500 on that one. Because she said yes too fast, right? So after we said the fee for my services will be for, you summarize everything you're going to do for the client. The fee for my services will be $4,000. And you can take care of it by check or American Express, because of course we don't take MasterCard and Visa. It's like a little joke. Like, you're at American Express. We ain't taking MasterCard and Visa. And you smile and you look at them and you don't say a word, because the first person to speak loses. You don't say a word. And you just look and you're just quiet. And you will see them squirm. You'll see people be like, Now you did your job already and you got the yes signals and you know they want it and I know they want it. And the hard part is them to take out the card and swipe it. You can't cave on that part. You can't fold. You did all the work all the way up to the fee for my services would be $4,000. And of course, you can pay for it with credit card, American Express, not Visa and MasterCard or check. And then you go silent. You already did your work. And then they might squirm. And we don't do sliding scales. And we don't do, I don't know, whatever people come up with. I don't do any of those. And then they, well, okay. And I still don't say anything because okay I don't see you taking out your credit card. And they would be like, okay, so you said we can pay for it with a check or with American Express? Yes. Pardon me, my son was dialing me. And yes. And they're like, okay, well. And then they're nodding to each other, yes. It's a couple or if it's a single. Some people say, girl, give it to me. They put the credit card down on the table. Let's roll. Some people are like, and some people are like, did you say, and what did you say that you were going to be able to do for us? That's a buying question. American Express taught me how to sit, look a person in the eye, tell them my fee, be quiet, and let them pay me. That's what it taught me. If you don't know how to ask people for money, you won't have none. If you don't know how to ask people for money, you won't have. How you gonna have it? All the money you want. One of my mentors taught me this. He said, all the money you want is right now in somebody else's bank account, other people's bank accounts. You just have to give them a good reason to transfer it to yours. You have to give them a good enough reason to transfer that money to your bank account. All the money you want is currently in existence. Isn't it already in existence? Isn't it trillions already in existence? Where is it now? Somewhere. Well, what's going to cause them to transfer it to you? It doesn't have to be bank accounts. It could be Bitcoin, right? What's going to make them push the Bitcoin from their wallet to my wallet?
As Grant Cardone says, who's got my money?
Baby, who got my money?
Every day it says, who's got my money? And then he goes and buys them.
That's what you want to ask, Alana. Who got my money?
Who has my money? I'm going to start saying that.
Because Grant Cardone is loaded, baby. Okay?
Yes.
He's loaded. Robert says, that's right. And singers, set your rate. That's right. And singers, set your rate and get that money before you say no. Oh.
Who said set your rate?
He said, this is Robert Del Rey. That's right. And sing and set your rate and get that money before you sing. No more. Oh, we only have $50 left, but I sang 4 songs. Yes, thank you. And that $50 will be mailed in 2 weeks. What? That sounds like the church. Uh-oh. Oh my God.
Do you know what just came up for me?
What?
I just saw myself. There was a funeral a couple months ago. My girlfriend had a death in the family, and they asked one of our friends to sing, and we were pissed because she said, yes, I charge $50 per song. And that made everybody in an uproar because she asked for $50 a song. And they're like, oh, ain't no way in hell. Everybody was mad about this $50 a song. Me too. I'm like, I can't believe she said $50 a song. She's supposed to be our friend. Like, we went into this big thing. Everybody was mad about this $50 per song. And I just realized in this moment,
wow,
I owe her a Ho'oponopono apology that she doesn't even know about, because she was bold enough to ask for what she wanted, for what she felt like her value and time was worth. And we were all mad because she did that. Like, we were mad because she said $50 a song. Now that I'm looking at it, why shouldn't she have gotten $50 a song? I'm mad at her because she's not afraid to ask for her worth, and I'm afraid to ask for mine. I'm mad because she didn't say, give me a love offering. Damn.
Let me add that onto the shadow. Afraid to be paid. Okay? Because people always be talking about me. They be like, she charged too much. Good. Go somewhere else. Here it is. Because nobody don't never come back and say, I didn't get no transformation with that lady whatsoever. I paid her $25,000 and didn't get no transformation. Said no one ever. Because one $5,000 retreat going to change your whole life. Why do you think people keep doing it over and over again? Why do you think I got clients that have invested 40, 50,000, probably 100,000 at this point with products and services that I offer? Because it works. I'm working with the spirit. You can't lose with what we do.
Working on your own Clubhouse.
I be working all the time. And when I say working, I don't mean working, digging, digital. I don't mean drudgery. I don't mean trying to make something happen. I'm on a divine plan. The divine plan is for wealth, health, happiness, abundance, fulfillment, all of it. The divine plan has it all. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be added unto you.
Wow.
The divine plan has it all. That's the plan I chose. Because my plan was crap. Okay, family. My plan wasn't getting me there. Oh, but I was important. Oh, I knew stuff. I drink wine and I know things, like that dude on right? On the Game of Thrones. How about being paid far beyond what you could imagine? How about having success far? I never imagined that this would be my life. Never imagined it. Far beyond. Far beyond. I was sitting last night eating that food, looking around like, how did I get here? That's all the time. How did I get here? This is freaking amazing. That's the God life, though. That God life, though. Yeah, some people gasped at first when I said that was me. It shifted to me making $500 for 2 songs, and the response being, I was thinking 1,000. Hallelujah! You said 500, they said 1,000. Come on, Robert. And here's the last thing about this, family. With regard to the $50 per song, no one. Derica said, Rev, I'm throwing the phone. We getting our life all the way this morning. Number 64 is another legendary morning. How about we having a funeral? Did y'all have it at a funeral parlor?
We had it at the church.
Was there a casket?
No.
Was there a cremation?
Yes.
Was there a burial or something done with the urn or whatever?
No.
Who got the ashes?
I believe his sister.
Okay. It cost something for the cremation, didn't it?
It didn't. I mean, it cost somebody something. It didn't cost. He didn't have insurance, and so the church took care of most of it.
Mm-hmm. But the church paid for cremation's not free, right? My mom was
the church paid for it.
Okay. They didn't have no problem paying whatever it was for the cremation. Whatever it was. I don't know, 200, 500, how much ever it was. Why would they have a problem with someone saying $50 a song? Did they have flowers?
They had flowers and this huge lifestyle cutout of him, like a cardboard cutout, which I don't know.
Did they say to the printer, when the printer said it's $75 for this, did they say $75? Did they go to the florist when the florist said, oh, this is 100 for this wreath and this is 90 and this is, or did they say, okay, 100 for this and 90, here you go, here's 100, here's 90. But when you got to the singer who stood up for their worth, that'll be $50 per song. $50 per song.
Well, now I realize she was worth even more than that.
Hello.
But at the time, like that was in this. We had not started ACIM. We had not started ACIM. But at the time, I was like, oh hell no! Like everybody was mad because she was like a friend. But even when it is your friend, you should want to support them more. So the level of growth, like I said, as soon as we
we had that conversation, I realized my error. Because I was right along with the family. Oh, hell no. How she gonna charge us $50 or something? You know, like, but now I'm like, damn, she could have charged us $500 a song and it would have been worth it. I feel like she charged too little now. But at the time, I was like, $50 a song? Like she owed us something.
All righty. Well, I think we all are very clear on our worth and our value, speaking up for it and receiving it. I think we're clear on that. Are we clear?
Yes.
Let the church say amen. Time for the Galactic Signature.
Amen.
Amen. Saints. Amen. Ashe. The flat lady has sung. Ashe, motherfuckers. Ashe. Galactic Signature.
All right. Today we are in Kin 186, White Self-Existing World Bridger. That's a long one. I define in order to equalize. Measuring opportunity. I seal the store of death. With the self-existing tone of form, I am guided by the power of spirit. I define in order to equalize. Measuring opportunity. I seal the store of death with the self-existing tone of form. I am guided by the power of spirit. I define in order to equalize. Measuring opportunity. I seal the store of death. With the self-existing tone of form, I am guided by the power of spirit. White self-existing world bridger.
White World Bridger. We got the Truth Clan today. Love to the Truth Clan. Everybody send some love to my love tubers. You know how we do.
Love y'all, love
and
tubers.
Facebookers and Clubhouse. Love your family. Love you.
Go get that Bitcoin money.